I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would have bought a Lambo, but I'm not quite there yet. Sometimes I get drunk and I forget what day it is. I wish that I was skinnier, but I love sandwiches. One time I tried to burn sage to clear the vibe, then the smoke alarm went off and my ex-girl cried. She cried for a bunch of other reasons. I'm never going back to Four Seasons. I wish that I was friends with Drake so I can dig through his trash and have a yard sale today. Damn, I wish my name wasn't Frank. Fuck, I wish it was Blake. I learned a lot from my dad, like how to yell a lot and make a car go fast. I wish that I was in the league. I'm a #1 pick with 2 bad knees. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. We're both pretty reliable. Gotten a couple accidents. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would have bought a Lambo, but I'm not quite there yet. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would have bought a Bentley, but I'm not quite there yet. What's the point of being cool? Cut your hair and get a job like the rest of us do. Don't play guitar in the park and just sit. If I hear another G chord, I'm breaking your shit. Nothing like a Subaru Crosstrek. Suspension is soft as a cute little baby neck. My clique orders club salads and look like they all sing ballads. I could have bought a Lambo happily, but the insurance is high and I kinda want a family. Why does dad have a Lambo? He was insecure about himself, son, let it go. Nothing like fighting another man, cause he cut me off in traffic and my morning started bad. I'm glad that his kids got to see that his dad's a giant prick and that he got what he needs. Nothing like crying in a Subaru Crosstrek. Life is an abyss, half filled with sadness. My ex-girl's grandpa invented pinball. He had a lot of time on his hands. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would've bought a Lambo, but I'm not quite there yet. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would've bought a Bentley, but I'm not quite there yet. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would've bought a Lambo, but I'm not quite there yet. I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I would've bought a Bentley, but I'm not quite there yet. Hey guys! Have you heard about the all-new Subaru Crosstrek with the new suspension package? If you buy one, you'll be riding smooth in no time. It also came with a trailer hitch, but it's only 4 cylinders, so you probably shouldn't tow anything. My dad said that messes up the transmission.
Hello. We're just going to do one song today since the market's pretty popping. We're going to find out over the next couple of hours whether or not this is it. If 29.2K breaks, I just got to be honest with you, it's not a good situation for crypto. So we're sitting on the abyss at the very moment, and we're going to find out very quickly. Well, I mean, I don't know. Things could prolong themselves and be anticlimactic. We're going to find out whether or not the longs are going to win. For me, you guys have known what kind of camp I've been in for the past month. For me, as long as 29.2K was holding, I was bullish. But the moment that breaks, we could see hell let loose. Just like how I told you guys before that when we were sitting at like, and I'll switch over to my camera real quick. I do have a different look to the live stream today. Let me go ahead and switch over to this so it looks a little bit better. But just like how I told you guys with 42K, 42, 43K, that was a local low that could have found support in reverse price action. 29.2, that's the same ordeal. But once we broke 43 to 42K, I told you guys, until we get down to 29.2, I'm not touching it. And, you know, we played the scalps, we played some shorts in between. But for the most part, I didn't start longing again until we got down to 29.2. So today, we're just going to kind of be a witness. I'm going to show you guys some setups just in case we do happen to reverse, because this could be, you know, just kind of pushing it towards that edge, seeing if it can knock anybody off the horse, and then come right back up. So I'm probably going to be on for about 2 to 3 hours. I just woke up. My hair's a mess. I'm a mess. And I'm really cold for some reason. But let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and pop out the chat so I can actually see it with a little bit more clarity over here. All right. Boom. And Give me 1 sec. Like the chat box is supposed to be working. And I don't know why it's not. Like that blue box up in the top right, that's supposed to be the chat box. But it might not work. It was working. I just tested it. But oh well. We're gonna get rid of that. All right. Let me pop open the chat. Sorry, like I said, I just woke up. I am trying to get things started. I am feeling better though. Better than I have been since the last couple of days. I've been on the Discord a little bit. Besides that, just been chilling. Let me get this up here. I really didn't do a whole lot of prep work coming into this, so let me just continue to get things set up. Let's get some music going. Let's see. Let's put on some carbon bass. Just slight in the background. Boom. Carbon bass. And I don't know if it's audible, to be honest with you. Let me see. Okay. All right, we should be good. All right. I didn't want to set up the green screen even. Actually, I like the look of it without the green screen. Obviously, I have to condense it to make it look at least decent, like have the price action, everything over here. That way I'm not covering up anything important. But I do like the look of like no green screen. Just me personally. I don't know. Let's see. He said, bro, am I allowed to download your streams and cut down? Of course you can. That's of course. Nice to see you guys. Jason, 19.8K. 19.8K. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get started. We'll say hello in a second because I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that we're about to dump majorly, which we could. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the macro. All right. So as far as the local lows go, the most important one that we have right now is, if we're going based off of the BTC USDT perpetual contract chart, that's going to be at exactly 28.92K. All right. And then 29.279 is the two levels. So generally, let's go ahead and just hit it right in the middle. Let me go ahead and mark that out for you guys. Waking up here. All right, boom. Nope, not the right one. All right, so let's just call it 29K even. All right, if we break that level, these are the absolute, like, I cannot reiterate this enough. All right, please don't confuse this when I say this. These levels that I'm about to highlight are there. They're realistic, but at the same time, they are so insignificant that I cannot trust them reliably with anything. All right. Now, if we see an actual setup based off of the downtrend reversing, that's a different story. But to long these local lows just on face value is not something that I'm looking to do. All right. But let's go ahead and change this with like a different color. All right, let's do yellow. So the red is the very significant support. So what we could see is a dip below and then come back above 29K. If that happens, to me, that would just look like a bear trap. And then as long as we stay above 29K, we can continue upwards. But at the moment, that is going to be 25.8K. And then just to kind of round it out here, 22.3K. And then up next is going to be 17.5. And then this is the next major, okay? So in terms of the strongest supports and resistances. Now, before you go ahead and say anything, yes, the previous all-time high is something that we are looking to use as support. That if we go below that, it's not a good thing for Bitcoin. But As the way I trade, I'm looking at local lows based off of the current trend or the adjacent trend that we're playing against. So in terms of micro supports, let me go ahead and click these in. We got 25.8K, we got 22.3K, and we got 17.5K. And then obviously the macro at 16, pretty much 16 flat. Now, I've outlined this in the Discord group if you guys were watching. We got 22K as the 0.618 of the third wave of this macro bull run. All right, so 22 is the technical target. But as of yet, until we break below this 29K level, we're not quite there. But this is kind of what I'm betting on. If I'm betting on anything, it's going to be this local low right here. But we are looking for a very specific setup in order to actually enter our long off of this. So as of right now, I do have a long open on BTC. It's cutting it close though, to be honest with you. But that was off of the 29.27 K level back when we first dropped. And the only other option, like let's say I get wicked out here and I want to re-enter. I'm not going to re-enter off of 29K prematurely. The level that if we got back above it, I would say things would start looking bullish again is 31.1. 31.1K is where we would start to see a reversal for me personally. Now, the only thing that I'm a little bit confused on here is the RSI is shaping up like a 1-2 structure, but the actual price action is nowhere near the same structure. So when we see the RSI get down towards 34, or if we can stay above around this range around 40, but once we get around 34, that's when I expect to see around 22K. Now this is on the hourly with the 125. Your on-screen chat is a bit out to the left. Is it working? Last time I checked, the on-screen chat wasn't even working for me personally. I'm just gonna hide it. Rap music is the devil. I don't know if that's a troll. That has to be a troll. There's no way. Let's see. Now, I did sell out of some of my altcoins today. Actually, this was yesterday morning. Is when I sold out of most of the altcoins. Now, that was on the presumption that the NASDAQ was going to break support, and that was going to cause a dump in other markets, which can still be the case, just kind of lagging from what I thought it would be. This is the NASDAQ. Definitely looks like we got a ABC structure here, and this could either be an ABC here, and we're going to see a reversal, or we could have a little bit more to the upside on the NASDAQ. But for me personally, a part of me knows that this could just continue going parabolic like we did in 2008. But I'm hoping to God that they understand that if they continue this up, once we get around 220, it is going to be a financial crash. If we can just kind of move sideways or move down, that will buy us multiple years. But if we continue at this pace, it's going to be only a couple months until this thing crashes. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they're doing this. But that was kind of leading to me to believe that we were going to see a crash in the crypto market, which luckily me selling out of some of those altcoins really did help. Because we made quite a bit with shitcoins like the past 2 weeks. And I'm happy to say like a lot of those profits have withstood this whole fall. Don't say that. I'm sure everyone who bought the top is standing on a cliff somewhere. No. For me personally, I'm I would have loved to see 29.2K hold, and obviously we haven't broke it yet, but it is looking likely. But for me, it does give you the opportunity for a lot of other people, and that was always my thing. Like, I felt like a lot of people were bearish just because they wanted the opportunity to buy in, but luckily a lot of people might get that chance. Now, one of the coins that I am particularly interested in, all right, is going to be sushi. All right. Sushi, I'm looking to pick up around like $3. But obviously, I'm going to be waiting to see BTC start to be in a reversal pattern before I go ahead and pick that up. But in terms of where we were going to go down and retest, I mean, there is a chance we find support at $5.17, but that's unlikely if we're going to see the type of drop that we're going to see on BTC. But 3.2, 3.17, that's the first major local low that I'm looking at. And then if we do happen to fall through that, I'm looking at about $1.88 for sushi. I sold Meow a long time ago. Meow, I sold right here. So, I mean, we've played a lot of these shitcoins lately, and I've just been following some major whale wallets. Pussy was a different ordeal, but if we go to Dex Tools real quick, I'll show you some of the ones that we got into. The last one that I sold out of was Kelpie. Kelpie, we got in. Well, I don't know if we, but I got in and I started talking about it. Let me go down to the 15-minute here. Right there. All right. Because it started to launch. I waited for a pullback. I got in right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. And I sold out of it right here. So I think I made like 200%. No. It was about like 250%. But obviously, if I would have held it to the top, that would have been like 500, 600%. But hey, like I said, with a lot of these altcoins, if you can make 100%, 200% and get out, that's what you're looking for. You can try to hold on and wait for the next Shiba coin, but it's just not worth it to me. So you find these shit like you said, how do you find these whale wallets? You find these shit coins that are just actual dog shit. No tokenomics, no fundamentals, anything like that. And you watch the order books and you look for either one, you're looking for bot sells and bot buys, and then you click on the wallet, check it out, see how much it's worth, or you just look for large buys and large sells, and then you click on the wallet, see how much it's worth. And then you can actually go ahead and look at what coins that wallet is holding. So, I mean, it's a pretty easy way. And then that's how we found out about the last three coins. Kelpie, Ball Bag, and Jeju was all from a single wallet. And yeah, we made quite a bit. Well, like I said. So I'm looking to reinsert some of those profits back into some legitimate coins on this dump. At the moment, like I can't be bullish right now, to be honest. Like the 29.2K, 28K range, like that's the last hopium that we got. But at the same time, in terms of like medium time frame formations, unless we get back above 31K, we are not going up. What's your strategy or tools to use? Well, my strategy is looking for three trends. You look for either a higher high or a lower low on a downtrend, and you're looking for bullish or bearish reversal patterns. The divergences is what we're looking for, but at the same time, it's more of the price structure that matters. The divergences are just a byproduct of price structure. And the reason why we focus on reversals is because theoretically reversals are tops and bottoms. And as traders, that's obviously what we're looking for. So in this case scenario, the reason why I am focusing so heavily on this 31K area is not because of these lows right here. All right. I'm focusing on it because this downtrend has a couple different trends. So we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. So if we got back above 33K, 33,300. And you can see that's what we kind of went back up to retest before confirming more to the downside. If we got back above that, that's kind of like the major confirmation that this could be a reversal. But short term, all right, this downtrend, which is a part of the bigger downtrend, all right, has 3 separate trends as well. All right, we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Creates this lower low right here. And if we go down to like a 5-minute time frame for this type of trend, you can see that this entire line of lows has been putting in higher lows. So that's where I'm looking at. That's why I'm looking at that 31K region. Does it make sense to sell alts now? It depends on where they're at, right? Because you don't want to sell at a local low, or at least a major one. I know LTC is approaching. Well, actually, no, it already broke it. LTC, once we broke that local low, that's when you should have sold out. If we get back above it, you can always buy in. And that's the problem that a lot of people run into, is they're afraid to sell at points when you can sell pretty confidently. Because in this case scenario, you're looking at this as a larger formation here. And you're looking at this as an A, a B, and a possible C further downside. All right. So if we are below the A, we can always see further to the downside. All right. So if you can sell as we cross below it, all right, it can continue. You can always buy back lower. If we come back above it, just buy back in. Now, obviously, if we are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that's a different story. But you're playing on spot here. I'm not saying watch it for a cent to 2 cent difference. I'm saying if we're above, buy back in. If we're below, just wait. Now, when it comes to LTC, some of the macro points that I'm looking to buy back in is definitely going to be $94. And this area in particular, $70 to $64, is of huge concern for me to go ahead and get back in. Which it's kind of come full circle, because I did take most of my profits when we hit the all-time high for LTC, and I bought into LTC when we broke the pendant. I bought in at $64. So even though it sucks mentally, actually it's pretty much just like a rinse and repeat cycle if you were playing this all the way back then. But obviously a lot of people didn't catch those initial breakouts. But if we look at LTC on like a macro time frame on like the Coinbase chart, this is what I was talking about right here. All right. I bought in when we broke this line right here. All right, now, so I bought in around the $60 mark. Obviously, we had a small time frame pullback, which, you know, sucks short term. But that was kind of us just confirming support and then moving on into the bull run. If you have not bought in, 29K is a DCA point, like hands down. All right. Me personally, I'm still holding my longs on BTC from 29K. But like I said, in terms of getting into a leverage position, I wouldn't do it until we got back above 31. That's my opinion. But if you're buying on spot, this is a place to do so. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be where we bounce, but I'm saying from a DCA perspective. So you have a couple different DCA points here. All right. If you are in the camp that it is not going to break below the last all-time high, all right, this is what you're looking to do. All right. You buy a little bit at 29K because it is a significant support. You buy a little bit at 26K because it's not a significant support, but it is a support. And then you buy a little bit at 22K. And you don't want to put the majority of your money in the front end. You always want to backload your DCAs. All right, that means it drags your average as far down as possible. Now, what I tend to do is, like, I'll put in a little bit at the first DCA point. I'll put in the majority in the middle, and then the rest of the sprinkles at the end. That way, most of my DCAs and my average entry is literally smack dab in the middle of all of the supports that I'm looking for them to hold, macro-wise. So when I play price action, it is literally based off of true or false. Are you above or are you below? If this and that. It's never waiting for a certain structure or anything like that. Now, in terms of waiting for a certain structure, yes and no. If you're talking about patterns, no. All right, this is what I'm looking for. So some of the trades that we've taken in this range was this trade right here. This was a good short position. All right. You're looking for 3 separate trends. You're looking for uptrend, downtrend, uptrend for bearish reversals. All right. And then you'll go down to like the 5-minute. And you'll go to the RSI. And what do you see? All right. You're seeing a flat top on this one. Usually you like to see a little bit more, straight cliff. And those usually have a little bit more oomph to them. But exaggerated divergences also work as well. So when I see that setup, all right, it's all about creating local highs and local lows. So you can have a local high here, local low there, and local high here. And that creates an if this and that statement line right on this level. All right. Now, like I said before, you would like to see divergences when these types of structures form, but they don't necessarily have to have divergences in order for you to actually play them. All right. So in this case scenario, you have this local high puts in a higher high. If you are below the last local high of this uptrend, so you can see this is one uptrend, but it's separated into 3. All right. So a lot of people, like when I mark out my charts, I'll mark out my charts like this: uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. All right. And they'll go, but there's an uptrend here, downtrend here, uptrend here, downtrend here. There's so many little cuts and divots in between. It's all about grouping. All right. So one trend is made out of 3 trends. All right. And then if that one trend forms 3 larger trends, you're going to have a pretty big trend. All right. So one good example of this is BTC on the larger time frame here. Let's go to the 4-hour. And let's look at the last bear market, not the one in 2018, but the one before the 2016 bull market. All right. So right here, for example, all right, you have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and that creates uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. So you can see how there is 3 trends right here. There's 1, 2, 3, right? And that creates 1. And then you have this one right here and this one right here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can see how 9 trends can be simplified down into 3 trends. And then those 3 trends can be simplified down into 1 trend. Just one gigantic ABC like this. All right. So it's all about understanding how to group. All right. And that's also a good way to understand what type of trade are you taking? What kind of price action can you expect from this? That's all. Oh, it looks like Bitstamp is having a little bit harder time than BTC USDT. And I would hate to be on that exchange right now. But that could be an indication of what's going to happen. Like I said, for sushi, I just need to see BTC being in a proper reversal. Either that's us getting back above 31K or us going back down to retest 25, 22 and seeing a proper reversal structure on BTC before I even think about hopping back into an altcoin. I'm not in a short right now. For me, my main opinion was always that 29K was going to hold. So whenever I did get into a short position, I always took profits early and then just held on to my longs. I don't think you can say that it's literally not possible for it to go below 26K. 26K is a support, and it does have a chance to keep us held up. But I don't know what's indicating that it's literally not possible. But like I said, when you have these structures, it's as simple as watching your chart first and foremost, all right? Because most of the time when I miss trades, it's just because I'm not looking. That's all. All right, right here, you have uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, right? Creates a higher high. You put in the equivalent or lower high on the RSI. And then as long as you are below the last local high, you short, set your stop loss above, and let it carry. Now, an easy way to target when looking for just an easy place to take profit, you're looking to take all three trends involved, take the top and bottom with fib retracements, and target between the 0.382 and the 0.5. Now, obviously, there's going to be someone that goes, your fibs are backwards. It doesn't matter, all right? Look, if you take bottom to top, technically these are correct, 0.618 and 0.5, but they're at the same exact levels. All right, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. There's no reason to be that guy. So that's what you're looking for, and then usually you're going to reverse in that region. Thank you, John. I had to wear it. I was freezing today when I woke up. So I appreciate it, man. But that is pretty much all we got. Now, Ethereum is a little bit easier to read, in my opinion, at the moment. I mean, it's a very clear setup if this does happen to come to fruition. If we do happen to not put in a lower low, this is going to end up looking like a 1 to a 2. You can see an A, B, C right here with an A, B, C on this one. So you're really looking to get back above 21.82 to 22.59 if you want to remain bullish. That's like the macro side of things. Obviously, you can find a smaller time frame setup like this one right here. You have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. If you get back above 1858, that would be a long position that you would be looking to, one, hold on to, and then look for hedge shorts around this region right here, or just take short-term profit whenever it gets back up to probably around 2060. And Ethereum was one of the reasons why I was I was always conflicted whether or not 29.2K was going to hold for a couple reasons, and that was just primarily ETH. If this is a short-term exchange, which I still believe it is, even if we go all the way down to 22K, and I really don't get a lot of YouTubers going, if we break 29.2K, we're officially in a bear market, because it's not that much further down until the next reliable bottom, in my opinion. or at least what the mathematics are actually calling for. So, I mean, can you call like 2 months a bear market, really? I don't think so. So, but you can see right here on Ethereum, we have uptrend, downtrend. So our strongest support on Ethereum is going to be at 1284. Next up is going to be uptrend, downtrend, creates a local low, 1545. So if we do happen to see a dump in the market, 1545 and 1300 is probably what I'm going to be expecting a bottom on Ethereum. And I mean, that just kind of lines up for a very nice A, B, C. And then once we bottom out, we should be finding a reversal once we get back above 1740 on the macro after putting in that lower low. That would signal reversal to the market. You'll see a lot more institutional investors come in. I don't tend to focus on the A, B, C, D, E patterns or like the W, X, Y, Zs. All right. I'm focusing on primarily just wave structures, ABCs mostly. No, please, no. All right. The exchange does not target you if you're using high leverage. All right. There is no one that, listen, there's no one out to get you. There's no boogeyman. There's no one that's specifically targeting you. All right. Everybody is just playing this market the best way that they can. Obviously, whales have enough money to actually put in like a domino effect, but there's not a single soul in this market that can actually manipulate price. All right. And I guarantee you those people that do have enough money, they are not working together. Humans are notorious for not being able to work together. So if you think that the greediest people in the world are able to do so, I don't think so. All right. Manipulation is not real. It's not real. Just putting that out there. Why do you think 1858 is a long? Short term. So this is why I was saying that. All right. So in terms of the structure that we're currently in, if we did happen to get back above 2177, like this little region right here, if we got back above that, all right, that would be good. And we would actually see a reversal come from that. Now, if you were looking for that preemptively, right, and you wanted an earlier entry, the only point to get into a long on Ethereum is going to be 1858. All right, and you can see that because we have a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. You cut down to the 5-minute chart, and you're seeing lower lows with higher lows on the RSI. You can see starting from here, all right, local low, local low, local low. We're putting in higher lows. All right. That would be your point of reversal, your if this and that statement. And that's the thing. Working like a trader doesn't mean I think that if we get back above this, it's confirmed we're blasting off to the upside. I'm just saying this is the first step to have probability on your side. All right. So if we get back above that, the probability of upside increases. Now, obviously, the main macro shifter and probability coming to the upside is going to be if we get back above 2185. But this would be your first entry point. I have not seen a single shred of evidence that Binance specifically sways the price action. Oh my God. The exchange has nothing to do with the price action. The exchange is literally like a bookie. They sit there and help people exchange. The exchange does not set the price. The people that are trading on the exchange set the price. Right now, there can be liquidity problems. Don't get me wrong, for like market takers, but besides that, no. It's just the exchange. The exchange has nothing to do with the price whatsoever. Well, here's the thing. The RSI that I'm using is a 125. All right, that's almost 10 times higher of a length than the default RSI that most people use. All right, so when I'm looking at a 5-minute time frame with the 125 RSI, it's almost like the 50-minute. All right, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and for the most part, it pretty much makes price action and the RSI look dead on, except for where divergences are forming, and that's the main purpose of it. I don't really pay attention to order blocks. I feel like that is one way to get tricked. All right, because one of the common tactics, like you can't really buy or sell such a massive amount that it causes a crazy influence in price action. But what you can do at these very, very micro levels, put in sell walls and buy walls. But a typical tactic is to just remove it. So you see a sell wall, and a person that's just looking at order blocks or sell blocks, they just go, well, there's a sell wall there, so we're probably not going to get past that. And then price action gets up there, and then they take a short, and the person just removes the sell wall, and then boom, price action shoots through. So for me, I just pay attention to the structures, play the probability. I really don't give two shits about what other people are doing. I just play the charts. So for me, you'll typically find me on like the 15-minute chart. But that's the thing, like, it's hard for me to explain this in a proper manner. All right, when I'm looking at price action, I'm looking at structures. I'm not looking at just a specific time frame. I could be on the 30-minute, look at the same exact structure. I could be on the 5-minute, look at the same exact structure. But for the most part, 15-minute is where you're going to find me, and I'm pretty much always completely zoomed out. The reason for that is because it helps me maintain perspective on the market. So what I'm looking for is trends. So I'm looking for an uptrend that breaks into a downtrend, that breaks into an uptrend, or I'm looking for a downtrend that breaks into an uptrend, that breaks into a downtrend. All right? Same thing all the way through. Boom, boom, boom. And then we got boom, boom, boom. Actually, no, this one would probably look like this. Doom, doom, doom. So that's how I kind of see things. And then after I've identified an area that I would like to get into a long or get into a short, that's when I cut down to like the 1 minute to 5 minute and look for those micro trends, those micro divergences that can help me get a better entry, better stop loss, pump up my leverage safely, and then just ride it through. As well as that, I've been using about 0.25 to 0.5% risk on all of my trades lately. All right. And I've kind of fallen in love with it. You know, I've been spending so much time on these challenge accounts trying to like put these astronomical numbers on the board. But at the end of the day, like my best accounts like have been long-term low risk accounts, all right, in terms of just low risk trades. Especially the way that I trade on scalping timeframes, I'll get wicked out like 10 times. Well, that's the thing. If I get wicked out 10 times with a 0.25% risk, I'm only losing 2.5% of my portfolio. Whereas somebody that's using, 5% risk, they get wicked out 10 times, they're losing 40, 50% of their portfolio. All right, so lower your risk. And that's what I said on Matt the other day. He was like, if there's one thing that you could tell people, what would it be? Lower your goddamn risk. That's the main thing. I jumped over your comment. I'm sorry. Hey, Kite, most of my holdings are in XRP. Yikes. I don't like XRP to begin with. I can't tell you what to do with it, but I will line up some supports and some resistances that can help you try to figure out what you want to do. Let's go look at like XRP real quick. I got some bad news. I got some actually really bad news. XRP does not have a major macro support. The most significant one being around the 36-cent region. There is hope around 45 cents to possibly be support. But those are the only two supports you got close. All right. So you can sell now if you want to, but the time to sell is when we broke that local low. That's the best time to do it. If we do happen to smash through 36 cents, we're going to go back down to 24 cents. That's another macro. And then after that, the next macro we got is 17 cents. And then 11 cents. So that's what I got for you. All right. Regardless if you sell right now, that's up to you. Like I said, chance of finding support at 45, or at least maybe for a retest, maybe you can cash out, if you're still not confident on us reversing. And then these would probably be the places I'd be looking to DCA back into XRP for the macro. Malik, good to see you too. The hell is Omi? I don't know if it's the NFT king because I have not heard jack about Omi. You mean OMG? I've not heard anything about this coin. You got boom, boom, and that's a medium. So your last major macro support was at $8, $3.80, my bad. You have a medium, which could possibly be used to find support around 260, but your next major macro support is definitely going to be at about $1.98. There's really no reason besides that we buying into it. XLM. Check out XLM. I'd probably be looking to buy back in around like 12 cents if you're looking at XLM. Now, we are sitting at support right now. Just putting that out there. All right, so this is definitely one of the more major ones, in my opinion. But we can easily fall through it if everything else does. But you could DCA some money into XLM around 21.2 cents. You do have that local low there. But this is definitely going to be the most significant area, is around 11.7. What kind of risky strategy do I recommend with a $100 account? Well, I don't know if I would recommend it, but the strategy that I used when I did my $100 to $100K portfolio was, I like to call it the flight takeoff strategy. All right, you are extremely high risk in the beginning. Extremely high risk. I'm talking all of it. All right, the first trade that you take, all right, you got to make sure that it's very high probability. Now, it doesn't have to exactly be crazy risk-reward ratio, all right, but it does have to be high probability. So you're looking to risk 100% of your portfolio, meaning if you lose this trade, you lose the $100. But this is the thing. If you can take $100 and hit like a 5 risk-reward ratio, you just 5x your account. All right, now you can reduce your risk by 5 times and still make the same amount of money per trade. All right, So then you do that. All right. So you go from 100% risk to 20% risk. And then, you know, the account gets to like $2,000 or 1,500. You set up these incremental points where you reduce risk as you go along. So you go from like 20% risk to 10% risk, and then 10% to 5, and then 5 to 2.5, so on and so on. So that way, as the account is growing, you're growing at an exponential rate, but as the account hits these checkpoints, you are reducing risk drastically, kind of locking in the probability that the account is actually going to withstand the test of time. All right. But obviously, once your account gets to a certain point where you're making enough money per trade where it kind of calms your nerves, because obviously if you're using 0.25% risk on a $100 portfolio, that's like 25 cents. All right. You're not going to be making that much money per trade. All right. But if you have 50 grand and you're using 0.25% risk, you're making a couple $1,000s per trade. So that's where the difference is. So there is some truth to it that if you got money, you're going to continue to have money, all right? Because that's the thing. Like, people that have lots of money can risk very little and walk away with a significant amount that could impact someone's life. Because to them, the percentage, let's say I make 20 grand, but that's only 1% of my portfolio, all right? 20 grand is like 1/4 of like a high income earner in the United States. All right. But that's just one trade. They made that. So low risk to them, high value in terms of the money that you're actually making. Oh, dude. I woke up and I was like, oh, I gotta hop on live stream, but that was kind of a mistake to put the bright lights on me. Jesus. Actually, I can turn down the lights a little bit since we're not using the green screen. I don't have to worry about having the outline being that good. Let me do that real quick. Okay, cool. Take a look at 88. I'm sorry if I'm like missing your altcoins. I'm just kind of going at my own speed here. How did I go about getting consistently profitable? The turning point in my career was the risk reward calculator, which is in the description. You can download it through Mega Upload. All right. And all it is a calculator that tells you, all right, your account is worth this much. All right. If you use this much margin and risk this percentage of your margin with this amount of stop loss, here's your leverage, here's your contract size. All right. It allows me to break down my portfolio. So like, let's say I got $30,000. All right. And I want to risk 0.25%. 0.25% of 30 grand is $75. But if I hit like a 30 restored ratio trade, all right, 30 restored ratio times $75, I make 2.2 grand. All right. Almost 10% to my portfolio from one trade. Now, is that going to be every single day? No. All right. Low risk, high reward. All right. If you're going to be a leverage trader, that's your main focus. All right. Leverage traders, it's all about making sure that you are as meticulous and exact as possible. Not only with your entries and your exits, but your freaking emotions, everything. Leverage trading is incredibly difficult. And if you're just getting into it and you think it's going to be a breeze, it's not. It's definitely not. But over time, you'll kind of find your play style. And that's the thing. Time is your friend, right? Not exactly in terms of your mentality with trading, like, oh, this trade has taken too much time. I want to back out of it. I'm scared. But I'm talking about, like, how long are you in the market? How long can you practice? Do you have a portfolio? Are you practicing with no portfolio? You're just paper trading. That's going to make the difference there. All right. In terms of ADA, hey, no. The dollar support. That's all we got. All right, if we break a dollar, I'm sorry to say it, but the next available support region is going to be 28 cents to 22 cents. Now, there is a possible chance, a very slim and possible chance, that we do happen to catch support in this region right here. But I don't know. And that's going to be between 67 cents and 79 cents. Now, that could be the case. We have a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend if we do happen to break that local low. And that would be an ABC if we did happen to catch support here. And if we got back above the dollar, that would indicate a reversal to a lot of bots, a lot of players, and we could see a reversal from there. But Cardano's not looking good. And that's why I find it hard a lot of times to recommend a lot of these coins that have had insane pumps out of nowhere. The reason being, all right, is because it only takes 1 or 2 local lows to break for a massive dump to ensue. Whereas with like LTC, Ethereum, BTC, we have multiple local lows that can catch us before we dump 70,000%. All right. But like with Dogecoin, for example, right? Dogecoin was an incredible example of what happens when you have massive pumps without any structure being built, right? With Dogecoin, if we break 15 cents, we are going to be dumping back down to pretty much 4 cents, 4 to 5 cents, all right? Because this is the last local low. This is the only significant support. We could find support at 10 cents, but that's hopium, all right? It was an exaggeration. Don't read too much into it. I know we can't dump 70,000%. No, not really. I was using the MACD for a while, but I just don't think it's worth it. I do not like to promote. And that's the thing. Like, there's so many people in this sector, if you want to call it that, that try to convince you that there is an easy method to this. That you can just follow an up-down indicator, buy-sell indicator, and you're going to make tons of money. You're not. You're not. All right? The best way to do this is learn how to play actual price action. All right, read a book. All right, don't watch a YouTuber. Read a book. All right, that's why I've always recommended these books I've learned from. But, I mean, Dogecoin's got a nice ABC formation. If we got back above like 21.4 cents, that would be good for it, but we'll see. Like I said, until we break 29.2K, technically we are still bullish, but once we break that local low, we should be seeing some significant downside. This could turn into an ABC formation right here. All right, and we could have a reversal if we did get back above the A. So that is kind of like the last hope. All right, if anything, like if we're kind of pretending that this is like the whales playing games, if you want to buy into manipulation tactics, you could say, well, all right, they're pushing it ever so close to that support where it's technically not bearish until we break it. People sell before it breaks, and then it just gets a rebound. Take a look at Matic. The main region for Matic is going to be 68 cents, but we are sitting pretty much dead on the reversal. So we have an ABC formation here. That creates, as long as we're above the dollar level, technically that is good for it. But in this case scenario, what I would like to see is if Matic got back above, if we got back above $1.15 on Matic, that's where I would buy in at the moment. I see the head and shoulders on BTC, but I don't buy into it, to be honest with you. What I'm assuming this is going to play out as, and let me just bring up a little bit of a fractal here with you. All right, because I remember this very clearly. All right, let me go down to a hourly. All right. You can see when we pumped up here, it was a lot of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Kind of that same sort of deal that we got going now on the daily. And then we had the major crash, and then we built up kind of a head and shoulders, and then we had the coronavirus crash. Now, a couple things. One, this was coronavirus times. Everything was dumping. The stock market was falling off a cliff at this point in time. So BTC did as well. People just selling out of it out of principle. Now, unless there is something that is going to be released within the next couple of days / week that causes that same reaction in the stock market, which I don't know, that's planned if I think anything, but I don't think we're going to see this type of dump like we saw with coronavirus. It's a very similar setup, I'll give you that. But at the same time, the conditions aren't there. Now, I don't buy in on newspaper news. I don't buy in on news articles and stuff like that. Those aren't fundamentals. All right, macroeconomics with supply shortages and global pandemics, all right, that's a little bit different of a story to say, okay, all right, this could actually influence price action. But I personally don't think we're going to see like that type of, crazy crash, because technically even that crash was not supposed to go this low. All right, at most we were supposed to go down and retest like 5,700, all right, and then find support. But the over-exaggeration from coronavirus pushed us down a lot further. So with this crash, it's going to be parabolic at the start, but I don't think we're going to exceed what what we're supposed to be exceeding. 22K would be my target if we broke 29. Can you show an example of an Elliott wave pattern for sure? Yeah, I already did. All right. Like right here, for example, we have uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. Actually, no, let me show you how you would have caught the top of the market. How about that? All right. Uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. You create a higher high, and on the RSI, you create a lower high. Right here. Boom, boom. All right, these two highs right here. All right, so lower high on the RSI, higher high on price action. Once you get below that local high level, you go ahead, you set up a short position, and then you can take the three trends involved. You can even take this larger trend here. Now, I would be targeting a local low. So, me personally, 43K was where I probably would have taken profit. Right there. I sold out of the market up here, but I did not short it. All right. And you might be saying, well, like, why wouldn't you just hold on to that short until 29K? Because you don't know that it's going to go to 29K. All right. If you're looking at this from a macro perspective, 43K and 29K are your local lows. All right. You don't have the foresight to be able to say that we are not going to hold 43K. So as a trader, you have to take your profit there. That's all. Pending a reversal, would you view this as a spring or an accumulation unlike the... So that's the thing. That's what I was saying before. As long as we are in the 29K region, technically I'm still bullish from a technical standpoint. Obviously, my emotions are starting to lead more to the bearish side as a lot of these altcoins are breaking their local lows and proceeding further to the downside. But does BTC have to do that? We'll find out soon enough. 29K is definitely a DCA point. So the accumulation, we've seen that over the past couple of days. Whether or not we actually reverse here, that's left up to a lot of the smaller time frames. All right, like I said, on the smaller time frames, we have to get back above 31,159. All right, that is the first step. If we get back above that, that is the first step in proving probability to the upside. That's the only place I would take a long from, in my personal opinion. We already did 88. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Like I said, the dollar support for 88 is the strongest level of support. But the problem is, all right, if we do break that, it's not good. It's not good at all. All right. This is what happens when you have a cult. All right. The cult pumps the coin up so goddamn hard, you build no local lows to fall back onto. And if you break one, you pretty much die. All right. So with the cult of ADA, your best chance of finding support, if you do want to remain at least somewhat bullish, is going to be around 80 cents to 68 cents. All right. But if you break that region, you have no support until we get down to the 28 to 22 cent region. All right. So right now, it's not a good situation for ADA. That's all I'm saying. Not a good situation. All right, what are you fucking talking about, dude? I don't know if you're over and exaggerating or if you're being serious. All right, the daily head and shoulders here. All right, if it played out, technically the target would be 9.8. It would not be 0. What? You gotta be joking. All right, in order to make a head and shoulders so large that we would go to 0, we would have to go all the way back down to 3K. Get a bounce going all the way back up to 20K, confirm a right shoulder at 20K, and then proceed past back down below 3K. All right, that would take multiple years, and I would love to trade that. All right, but this head and shoulders is not, no, that does not mean we're going to 0. Guys, stop with the altcoins. Stop. I just woke up. I'm looking at some of them. I've been kind. All right, but I'm not going to spend thousands of hours looking at altcoins. All right. Listen. Do what I do. All right. You don't have to have my confirmation, my go ahead, my approval in order to DCA into coins. All right. Take the altcoin that you like, that you want to get into, and mark out local lows. All right. Find your biggest uptrend. All right. So, like right here, this is obviously my biggest uptrend. Now, break it into 3 trends: uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. This is my strongest local low right here. That's my strongest local low. So, if I was looking to get into Ethereum, I'm looking to get as close as possible to 1300. And then now you can kind of cut that up into micros. All right. You have uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. All right. So I would like to buy in a little bit at 1554. And then if we do proceed down lower to 1300, I'll buy in a little bit more. Take this method and go apply it to your altcoin. All right. Practice charting. Seriously. No, 29K is a support. All right. Now, whether that support holds, that's a different story. But from the chart, yes. Right. We have uptrend, downtrend, and then uptrend. This is our strongest level of support. Next one is going to be 16K. All right, so I mean, the lowest that I'm looking to hope to see is 16K. I feel like that would be a really good place for a lot of accumulation for whales. Like, let's say there is a panic sell, and for whatever reason, we do happen to break below 20K. I feel like 16K is going to be the region where they pick it up, pump it back above 20K, and then we actually start to reverse. All right, but in terms of like large scale macros, if we look at BTC USDT, all right, we're looking to test the 0.618, and obviously that's the 0.382. All right, that's at 22,200. All right, that is the technical level that Elliott Wave wants to retest if we're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth. Oh, are we slipping through? Oh, we're in the red. We're in the red for the first time in a month. Jesus Christ. You hate to see it. How do I get that left sidebar? Are you talking about this? That's there by default. I don't know if you can actually get rid of that. Unfortunately not. For me personally, I've been holding on to most of my longs. I let them fall through. I let them get stopped out. Because for me, I was willing to hold it. The profit was too good to pass up. So I ended up walking away with nothing. But, hey, shitcoins led the way. I don't know why shitcoins did so well while everything else was just kind of doing terrible. It's kind of fun to see. Why am I in a long? I've been in a long for a month. So I got into a long on the first retest of this level. And for me, I'm willing to hold on to it. As long as we're above 29K, I'll be long. Now, if I get wicked out of this, like I said, I do have to see us get back above 31.1. But we'll see how that happens. Yeah. All those trades I got stopped out of were like 0.5 to 0.25% risk. 28K on what, like Coinbase? Coinbase. Oh, I brought up the actual Coinbase. I don't know where you're seeing 28. Are you able to do that type of stop loss on Binance? So when I'm talking about 0.5, 0.25% risk, I'm not talking about my stop loss. My stop loss was 1%, 1% to 2%, depending on what I was trading and when. But my risk from my account was 0.25 to 0.5%. But I'm sure you can do a 1% stop loss on Binance. What's my crystal ball calling for? My crystals. It's not my crystals. It's fake Crypto's crystals. Let's see. Yeah, it sucks a little bit. Like I said, I've made over 45K off of shitcoins over the past 2 weeks. It does suck because we're up like 8K profit on the challenge account with a lot of the longs that we had open, but you know, pass one up, let the other one go through. $45 on a 7. Yeah, that's pretty decent because 1% of a 7K account would be about $70. So you're doing less than 1%. I don't know the exact percentage, but that's definitely within that range. My stop loss is 28.486. When you first typed that, I thought you were joking. Are you joking? Are you saying we can't make profit with TradingView buy and selling? I would like to see you try. All right, can you make consistent profit with a buy and sell indicator? I'm talking about leverage trading. I'm not talking about spot trading. Spot trading, you can trade MACD, daily crosses quite decently. But leverage trading, no, you're going to get destroyed. Because in order to leverage trade properly, you need to have the best stop loss you can possibly get within reason. Buy and sell indicators are so lagging that by the time you buy into it or go long or go short, you either one, have to actually just be safe and set your stop loss where it's supposed to be, which is going to incredibly reduce your risk to reward, or you're just going to be risky and kind of ignore that fact and then get destroyed multiple times over and over again. Local low is at 28.9. We got below it like shortly right here. Still bounced above. But let's go ahead and mark it out. First level of support that we look for a bounce is about 25.8. And then 22K pretty much on the dot. And then 17 to 16K there. No, don't, no. If you start DCAing with leverage trading, you're going to destroy yourself. I can almost guarantee it. And the fact that I said aggressive DCA strategy makes it even more scary. All right. Like I said, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just speaking out of my ass and trying to sound like I'm on a high horse. I've done it. DCAing with leverage trading is like letting the devil in the door. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to get wrecked if you DCA on leverage trades. You can DCA on spot trades because with spot trades, you don't have to worry about getting liquidated. Yeah, if you're talking about not using leverage with DCAing, then you are correct. DCAing is a good thing to do. But DCAing with leverage trading is, oh God, it's a terrible idea. Sushi, break it down. What kind of portfolio do you maintain at present? If you're asking for like the amount of my portfolio, I can't tell you my main, but my current portfolio between all the challenge accounts is sitting at about 30 grand. We were at 45K, but unfortunately with all the longs getting stopped out, lost about 8K. You can go ahead and send me a message on Discord if you want to send me your Elliott wave count. No, I was in the same exact trade on BTC. I didn't take profits on that. Now, I don't aggressively trade altcoins on my main account. I sold out of Ethereum between 3,000 and 3,500, and I sold out of BTC in that region right there. And then I DCA'd back in at 29K. I DCA'd back in at 43K, and then I'll DCA back in at these points. I did sell my EOS. I sold most of my altcoins yesterday morning. No, you just got to add me on Discord. The Discord group is through the Patreon. Now is not the time to short, unfortunately. I mean, that's the thing. Like, when price action starts to move is when people actually want to get into the positions, but it's not the time to do so. All right? We could easily bounce here. Now, I'm not saying that we are going to, all right? Because immediately when I say we could easily bounce here, people go, what are you fucking smoking? But in terms of playing probabilities, all right, you don't start shorting when the price is going down. Now, if we do happen to have a kick to the upside and that upside forms a bearish top, we can short that. But besides that, we just got to let it ride. Now, the best hope that we can look for is 28.8K. We break it. We come down below it. We have a short-term retest of the upside. We look for a bearish top off of that. And then we go ahead and short it down to 22. All right. And that's probably what 25.87 is going to be used for, is a retest of 29K. My ID's in the description. It's Kite hashtag 2136. No, you don't. You don't want to short it right now. Leverage trading can be more profitable, all right? But spot trading is a whole lot less of a headache, and you don't have to worry about getting liquidated, all right? Leverage trading, you are amplifying your risk and you're amplifying your reward, sometimes by astronomical amounts. Right now, me personally, I've found a way to make sure that my risk is maintained at a certain level, but my reward can always get higher. All right. So, for example, like I said, I can lose 0.25% of my portfolio, but I can make 10% in one trade. All right. That's how I've been doing it. So, leverage trading, it requires so much more of you. So much more of you. You need to know a lot more about technical analysis. And that's the thing. not learning how to read 1,000 different indicators, but how to read actual price action, right? And how to develop a formula for success, right? And that doesn't mean winning the majority of your trades. It means how do you win a decent majority, like a decent amount of your trades? I would say like if you're in around the 30% win ratio mark, you're sitting pretty, all right? And then you apply that to a high risk reward ratio setup, and then you can start to get cracking, all right? Spot trading, you mark out supports and resistances, and you DCA, you hold on for dear life, and then when it gets to the resistances, you sell. Simple as that. I'm in a long term. I hate trading mood. I spot DCA'd from 36K. And when it. So, I mean, there's nothing I can really tell you besides you did it wrong. All right. That's the thing. You never go all in at a support. All right. If you had 10K on the sidelines, all right, when we hit 29K, you put in, if you thought 29K was actually going to hold, all right, that's fine. You have an opinion that that's going to hold. You go ahead, you put 4K into that. All right. Now, if we dip down to 25, you put in 2K. And then if we dip down to 22K, you put in the additional 4. All right. That way your average is somewhere around 25, 24K. All right. You DCA'd wrong. That's all. All right. If we break through 29K, if you want to sell, sell. All right. If your money is all in Bitcoin, all right, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Like if your average entry is around 36K, you're going to be losing 20%. Is it worth it to sell and then buy back at 22K? Let's see. All right. Let's do some math. All right. When in doubt, break out a freaking calculator. All right, let's say I had $10,000, and when we break this local low, I sell, and I lose 22%, so $2,200. All right, now I have $7,800, and I go ahead, and I put in, half of it here, and half of it here, meaning my average entry is probably going to be somewhere around 24K. All right, so if my average entry is around 24K and we do have a retrace back to the upside, all right, let's see, that's 70% plus 70% to the next local high. All right, you would be up $3,000 from your original starting place if you did it that way. It's up to you, all right, because there is no short-term way to come back from a loss like that. You can hold on to it and not deal with the headache of trying to, get the entries and everything like that. Or sell when we break that support, DCA back in properly, and then wait again. All right? There's no easy way to come back from that. What's the content of my Discord? I do have private tutorial videos. I post my thoughts from time to time. And then I also chill in the Discord and actually talk to you guys for multiple hours at a time. So, if we're chilling, you can ask any question you want. I'm sharing my screen, all that kind of stuff. What are the chances of the doomsday you talked about happening right now? Shit, man, I hope not. I hope not for everybody's sake. I'm not just talking about my pockets. I'm talking about the world. Because you do realize what that entails. Like that entails like a 60% crash in the stock market, multiple people losing their homes, people going homeless, people can't find jobs. This is not a good situation. So let's just not insinuate that that's what's happening. Can you go over the ups and downs of your 100 to 100K account? There was a lot of ups and downs, and that's the whole problem. Like, people don't realize what they're getting themselves into. Everybody and their mother would love to take $100 and turn it into 100,000. All right? And on paper, it's kind of easy. But the only problem is there's human fallacy involved. There's your emotions. There's the market being unpredictable. You need a little bit of luck, whole lot of skill, and a whole lot of time. All right? So here's the thing. Because of the way the $100 account was scaled in terms of the risk setup, there was times where I went from like 5 digits all the way back down to 4, like low 4. Like I went from 22K to 4K, 4K to 25K, 25K to 56K, 56K all the way back down to 14, 14 all the way back up to 36, 36 all the way back down to 14, 14, like there was so many ups and downs, drastic ups and downs as well. Where if you continuously mess up over and over and over again, the account's burnt almost instantly. All right, so it requires an incredible amount of luck and skill. It's a combination between the two. All right, so that's where I was saying before, I don't want to give anybody hope, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped updating the account and I didn't proceed with it. All right, and that's why with this account, I didn't try to shoot for the moon, from the start. Once we got to 50K, I started to see a pattern that people that were coming to my live streams were strictly there for that portfolio, because in their heads, I was selling them a dream. Like, and I would like to do that. I would like to say, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's the freaking truth. But the only problem is it's not easy at all. It was hard on me emotionally. It was hard on me physically because sleep was not a thing during that period of time. My best advice would be stick to low risk and just trade. Don't worry about getting your account to $1 million by next month. All right. Just gradually grow your account. Don't pretend like trading is going to instantly become your day job. It's not. But if you keep with it long enough, it will be, or at least be a huge substitute in your life where you really don't have to work that much. That's my honest advice. And when you add leverage trading on top of that, it's even more instability. All right. But, I've kind of built my entire life around crypto. Although I've only been trading for 3.5 years, I've been staring at these charts since I was 12 years old. All right. So, I'm not right all the time. I'm not even right the majority of the time. But I make sure that when I'm right, I'm really right. And when I'm wrong, it's no big deal. And over a long period of time of doing that, I've gotten my account up pretty well, to the point where I'm in a situation which is amazing and depressing all in one little nugget. But I do want to start I was actually working on it before I hopped on Livestream, getting the audio all set up for it later. But whatchamacallit, I want to start a little podcast where I just talk about everything else besides crypto. Did I get stopped? Have not gotten stopped yet. I do not use Market Cipher anymore. And you asked how come? Those types of indicators don't add any value in particular to me. All right. It's like the blue waves where you find divergences, you can find that off the RSI, right? You're not going to ever find a blue wave that shows you a proper divergence where the RSI doesn't. All right. As well as that, if you're using it for the VWAP, VWAP's not that accurate. All right. You're not going to get exact entries, exact exits. Not good. All right. For me, I just didn't feel like renewing my subscription. That's all. I tried it out. Don't get me wrong. Like, my account saw the most massive growth when I was using Market Cipher. Right, but that was not because of Market Cipher. That was just because of the conditions of the market, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of headstrong, stupid mentalities. All right, but once the market started going sideways, Market Cipher did not perform quite well. Just my opinion. The only indicator that I can stand by is the RSI. That's it. Like, you can talk about Ichimoku Cloud, you can talk about EMAs, you can talk about SMAs, you can talk about whale buy sell, you can talk about MC, you can talk about whatever the hell indicator you want to talk about, TD sequential. The only thing that has, like, time tested, given me the best results has always been price action structures mixed with divergences from a high-end RSI. That's it. I'm not audible? What are you talking about? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have no doubt that, like, Ichimoku Cloud can give you some success on a large time frame spot buying, but not for leverage traders. A lot of these indicators that are promoted to leverage traders or are in the leverage trader space just can't really reliably be used with leverage trading. That's my opinion. Is carbon-based life forms a requirement to being a profitable trader? I'd say so. You know, it helps you stay in your zone, trading in the zone. Can you explain how to use the RSI? Yeah, let's go look at some examples. Right? You wanted to catch the top here? Boom. All right, you look for a setup. All right. Right here, you got an ABC. You go ahead on this trend line right here. You're looking for price action to get back below 38K. If it does, starts to look a little bit more bearish. All right. So you're looking for an entry at the top. All right. You have an uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. We put in a higher high on the price action here with 3 separate trend shifts. All right. And then what do you see on the RSI? RSI falling off a cliff. All right. Now, me personally, I was sick in bed and I was pretty sure I was dying when this was all coming into play. I remember I was literally just sitting on Ryan Matter's live stream, just in complete darkness. But this setup was here. Uptrend, downtrend, uptrend with a severe bearish divergence. All right. You would have entered once we got back below that last local high, and you pretty much would have caught the top. All right. Now, me personally, if I was in that trade, I still would have taken profit right here. I'm not going to lie to you and say I would have held on to it. I would have taken profit between the 0.5 and the 0.382 right here. Looking for a reversal. I just got liquidated. You shouldn't ever get liquidated, though. That's the thing. That means you didn't have a stop loss. You are never going to see me without a stop loss. All right, if you don't have a point of invalidation, all right, you don't have a trade. All right, that means you're just kind of throwing money at a dartboard and hoping it sticks. All right, but hopefully if you do hop back in the saddle, you start using some actual risk management. I haven't updated the Patreon. There is no Telegram anymore. It's just Discord. All right, we've switched from Telegram to Discord. All right, it's the same exact thing, same exact everything, but there's a lot more channels to choose from, keep everything nicely organized, and the ability to voice chat. Have you already seen the ups and down tokens from Binance? You talking about leverage tokens? I don't know why leverage tokens are a thing that does not have any use. Why not just leverage trade? Why use leverage tokens? You can use your liquidation as a stop loss, but you still are, like, even if you're using your liquidation as a stop loss, you're still probably only going to lose about 1 to 2% of your portfolio. So, I mean, what's the big deal? Usually when people talk about like getting liquidated and they're upset about it, that means like they lost like 20, 50, 80% of their portfolio because they went all in on one trade and couldn't take a loss. So therefore they let their loss get so bad that they end up getting liquidated. You should never get liquidated. It makes no sense. Why? Why get liquidated? All right. Take a small loss, find a re-entry, proceed about your day. Like if I lose this trade, I lose 125 bucks of a 30 grand portfolio. It does not impact me. But if we get back up to a lot of the local highs, you know, I'll make 10, 20 G's. Do I have any predictions? I mean, probability at the moment is still technically to the upside until we break below this region right here. We are still technically bullish. All right. But if we do happen to break below that 29, 28K region, the first availability of finding support is going to be around 25.8 and then 22K. And then, you know, there is a chance we go down to 17 to 16. I don't think we will, but it's there. I use a 1% stop loss with 25x leverage. But I'm only using 1% of my portfolio as margin. And I'm using 25% of that 1% as risk. It's just Kite hashtag 2136. There's nothing else I can really tell you, man. I'm sorry. I use the 125 RSI. So you just double click on the RSI, you click on 125, and then boom, you got it. Let me change this to like orange. I like orange better. Kite, we kept saying bullish divergence on the 5 and 15 minute all the way down. Why is that? Well, yeah, just because those are points where you can reverse. Doesn't mean you're going to reverse? No, unfortunately not. But a lot of the times when we saw those divergences, we saw price action play off of it. So like right here, for example, was one of the good trades. We had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Once we got back above that level, boom, we saw a play to the upside. Right here, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. We saw a play to the upside, but unfortunately we haven't seen an actual significant reversal. Because a lot of times when you're playing these 5 to 15 minute time frame divergences, you are playing them in hopes that you get back above an actual significant reversal. So like right here, if we got back above $6.60, I could re-enter sushi. All right. Now, that's me re-entering on a smaller time frame reversal in hopes that we get back above $7.65. Once we do that, the probability of continuing further to the upside now just increased significantly compared to my first entry. So then, once we get back above $9.50, now it starts to become almost a likelihood that we're going to see an actual significant reversal. So when you're playing on these 5 to 15 minute time frames, you're just using these smaller time frames to find pretty decent entries at points of reversal on smaller time frames in hopes to play into a bigger structure. So you'll see small price action come from it, but whether it turns into an actual significant larger time frame reversal, it doesn't have to. All right. What mic did I get? This is the AEA KU5A. It's a ribbon microphone, which I'm actually quite excited about because I've never had a ribbon. I've always had either condensers or dynamics. I've had this long open for a month now. I opened it all the way back here on the 19th of May. So a month and 3 days, pretty much. So yeah, until I get stopped out, I'm going to be holding that long. There's no reason for me not to. And a lot of the times, like, people ask me, like, why don't you move your stop losses to, like, your entry or just anything like that? One of the main reasons why is because I'm not risking something that I'm not willing to lose. A lot of the times when people, like, take the first chance they get to put their stop loss at their entry point, it's usually because what they're losing, if they don't, is significant. All right, for me, like I said, the most I've ever done is like 1% on this portfolio. All right, now back at the very, very beginning, we did 5%, but once we got to around 5K, we dipped it back significantly. But like I said, if I was like going to lose $4,000 getting stopped out on a $30,000 portfolio, yeah, I would probably be more eager to go ahead and get the hell out of this trade. But I'm losing $100. $100 is not going to hurt me. All right. If I was not already in this long, I would not be getting into a long until we got back above 31. It just doesn't make sense at this very moment in time. At the time that I got into the long, it made sense. And I mean, it paid off pretty quickly, but obviously we didn't take profits on it because I was looking to hold this as a more macro swing position. But we did take a nice short right here. I took a nice short right here. We took some altcoin longs right here. Unfortunately, those got stopped out. I did take a long on, what was it? XRP and LTC on this reversal. Made some decent money. And obviously, this is why I got sick right here. This little area. I mean, there's been some decent trades, but for the most part, I've been bullish this entire time. So I paid the price. Made some good money off of shitcoins. And now we're just looking to DCA back in. Or if the market holds, we'll see. Meow. I've been out of Meow for quite a long period of time. I've been out of Meow since the beginning of this month, or like June 6th. I got out right there. XMR. We'll check out XMR. Shit. SD. Go to Bitfinex. All right. Couple DCA points for XMR. 120. Like this little area right here between 120 and 108 is a really good area to get into XMR. After that, $74 would be the area to get into XMR. But probably going to find a reversal around that region, to be honest. That's what it's looking like. No problem, Rocco. Like I said, I mean, I just do what the market tells me to do, and I play the probability. And it was telling me to sell up there. I wish I could have been right 2 times in a row, but hey, not today. I mean, we'll see. EOS. Oh my gosh. EOS is at a DCA point. All right, you would want to buy some at $3.15, and then you would want to buy some at $2.37. Boom, done. Like I said, find an uptrend, find a downtrend. Where that downtrend had an absolute bottom, that's your local low. That's where you would buy. Go to your daily chart. Do this with your altcoin. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because on the smaller term time frames, you don't have anything to stand on. All right. When we came down to test 29K the first time, all right, that was coming from macro buys. All right, right now, when you look at the market as a whole, you are seeing all of the altcoins and even pretty soon Ethereum dropping through its last local low in terms of like the downtrend that we're currently in, not the uptrend that we were in. All right, so you want to enter on a confirmed reversal. You don't want to enter in midair. You have nothing to stand on here. All right, now this is a good place to DCA on spot, but not leverage trade, not to go long. All right, the reason why you want to go long right here is because you have 3 trends breaking. All right, you have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Once you get back above the A, that confirms that the reversal is over, or the probability of the reversal is taking place. Then once you get back above this local low, it starts to confirm even more. And then we can start moving to the upside. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to go long where there is nothing. There's nothing down here. What is harder, trader or YouTuber? A little bit of both. Obviously, because like in the beginning, doing YouTube was not that difficult because one, there was no pressure to be constantly live streaming or constantly giving out content. I mean, that's only gotten, I don't want to say gotten worse with the Patreon, but you know, I never really expected the channel to blow up the way that it did. So, you know, I got a whole bunch of people relying on me. So there's obviously always pressure to be on live stream when things are happening. You know, live stream once daily. Obviously, people want to know what I'm doing so they can figure out what to do themselves. So there's pressure of if I make a mistake, there's people out there that even though I say, please do your due diligence and look at me as an example, not to copy off of, but to kind of figure out, hey, this guy has been trading for this long. Here's what works for him. Let's find out what works for me. All right. So, you know, it's a little bit of both because obviously at the same time, that can influence my trades and my trades can influence my YouTube. So they go hand in hand. It's tough shit. All right. That's why like sometimes like you'll see Mata like lose his shit on somebody because like we try our best at the end of the day. And then it's like, you know, like I called the top pretty well. And it feels like me being bullish, people are screaming at me. So, I mean, you know, I don't know if I would choose a different path if I was given the choice, but I don't know. I do want to start branching off, though, into kind of like different types of videos. I feel like putting myself in this box of being like the crypto dude is a little bit much. I do want to start kind of like a podcast or like a vlog. I kind of just talk, not particularly about crypto, but just talk. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've been in the live stream for however long we've been live, but I haven't taken a single puff of a vape. I have officially quit vaping. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, when my sister was over last week, I took like a couple puffs of hers just because we were, you know, I was being social. But I don't have a personal vape anymore. It's been like, what, a month? 3 weeks, something like that. The first week and a half, I was suicidal trying to quit smoking. It was bad. It was bad. And it kind of like, it sucks, man, because like I just got done quitting vaping and then get like incredibly sick out of nowhere. And then, you know, I got people messaging me like, hey, man, I was talking about this in the Discord group earlier yesterday. This dude messaged me. He was like, hey, man, you're smart and everything, but your health is kind of shit. And I was like, oh, come on. I'm trying. I quit nicotine. I'm going to be, you know, obviously working towards other goals. I was doing intermittent fasting for a long time, lost a lot of weight. And I'm going to get back on that. But it was just the way he phrased that message. It was so funny. I laughed my ass off. But at the same time, I was like, come on, cut me a break. A dude can't get sick. Like, come on. It wasn't even me just like coming down with the sickness. Like my nephew came home. Like, I don't know if he got it from school or something. Or I could have got it from a hospital, but, you know, he was coughing his ass off and I was fine. And all of a sudden, like one day he walks into my room. The next day I'm dying sick. So I blame my nephew. He tried to kill me. Yeah, so like later today, I'm probably gonna film like the first episode of like me just talking to the camera. And kind of what I would like to do is the first episode, I just want to kind of like lay the groundwork, like who I am, all that kind of stuff. And talking about like where I am right now in my life, like how I feel about things, how I feel about YouTube, how I feel about trading, you know, how do I feel about myself, my friends, my family. And then in the second episode, that's where I'm going to start like an autobiography, like a video autobiography of me trying to like in detail recount my entire life from beginning, like my first conscious memory to me now. And hopefully kind of through that process show why why I am the way I am. And then obviously in later episodes, once we're done with that, we'll talk about other shit. We'll just take suggestions, conspiracy theories. I might invite guests onto the show, stuff like that. But I'm not looking at it as another avenue to grow my YouTube channel. I actually wanted to do this regardless of the YouTube channel, even if it was just saved onto my computer, because I feel like, one, it's like therapy almost to kind of talk in that manner, and then as well as that, it's just like a diary. It's something to look back on to, and see how you've changed. And I feel like people are gonna miss that, because I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't take a lot of photos of myself or of other people. Like in my camera roll, I barely have pictures. So I feel like I'm gonna look back on that and kind of regret it. So I just want to kind of detail my life. And so, how did I get through that week and a half of being suicidal, trying to quit nicotine? So when I went into it, I, kind of had like the, I'm invincible mentality. I was like, I'll get through this. I was like, this isn't going to be bad. Fish, go lay down for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna crush this. And then it started to get bad. And I remember just like consciously thinking, as like I'm delirious in bed, I was like, I cannot believe how much this chemical, like how much my body depends on this chemical to function, that if left without it, I am like bedridden, delirious, and suicidal. I was like, there's no way. Like it just blew my mind. And that's the thing, like, cigarettes are one thing, but you have a lot of other factors with cigarettes. One, a lot of people don't like to, even if you're a smoker, you don't smoke them inside, because obviously a lot of the residue and stuff. Two, it's combustion, so it's really, really hard on your lungs to be a chain smoker. And three, I just feel like people don't really, like, there's not a whole lot of nicotine in cigarettes. You're getting a lot of nicotine, a lot of other chemicals involved with that process. With disposables, I'm talking about disposables particularly because with other vapes, you're using like 3 milligram nicotine. It's not going to hurt you as much. It could still be addictive, but it's not that addictive, and it's not that hard to quit. But with disposables, you're using 50 milligram nicotine in that little system. It's an incredible amount of nicotine, and you don't realize it until it's too late, until your body is chemically hooked on this thing. But the one thing that powered me through it was like this memory of like every like Christmas or birthday. Like, my dad didn't have a whole lot of money, so he would buy me the best present he could. But the only thing that I really ever asked my dad for my birthday or Christmas was for him to quit cigarettes. And he would try, but then eventually go back to them. And I wanted to be a different situation. I didn't want to be, my dad is an amazing person, but, it's just, I wanted to kind of prove that even though I'm using a stronger amount of nicotine, I can still do it. And therefore, it gives me hope that I can convince him to do it one day too. That's all. But thank you for that question. I appreciate it. I don't really have I have an Instagram, but I don't know what it is. I don't even use it. So here's the thing. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure is made out of 5 sets of ABCs. So like if you see an ABC, all right, to the upside, then that ABC is probably going to turn into an ABC to the downside. As long as you don't put in a lower low, that is probably going to become a 1, 2 structure, and you can start your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 process looking for the 5th wave top. Yeah, I feel like quitting cigarettes or quitting vaping and nicotine and stuff like that. Obviously, don't start in order to have this effect, but it's a strange effect. Like let's say you're not treating yourself well, or like just certain aspects of your life are not exactly how you want them to be. All right, you can ignore it for so long, but then like once you make the decision to like quit cigarettes and you successfully do it, it kind of gives you like that fire, and it starts spreading to other parts of your life. For me, it's been a slow trickle, but I can definitely it gave me a boost in confidence. One, it felt better to breathe, and I don't know how I would have gotten through that sickness if I didn't quit vaping before I got sick. But it's obviously my dopamine is not reliant on nicotine. Obviously, it's still reliant on sugary soda and stuff like that, but hey, one step at a time. But one thing that I noticed after a couple of days of like actually getting through the withdrawal and not like my body not needing the chemical anymore, I still had like this psychological reaching and wanting to smoke something. So I had a dead vape that I would pretend to hit to like get rid of the psychological factor. But one thing that I noticed was I was laughing more than usual. Like when I was watching TikTok, I would crack up crying, laughing. And for a long time, like, I don't know, I didn't notice it, but being not heavily addicted to nicotine, unless I didn't find myself laughing as much as I am now. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me pretending that was the effect, but it definitely felt like those two things were correlated, in my opinion. Yep, I'm just using the 125 RSI. That's it. Nothing else changed. Are there any rules for ABC structures, like B to be the longest? No, not really. Don't worry about like where shit is. Just look at the trends. All right. So if you see an uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, all right, you look for a bearish divergence, you short it. All right. Now, like I'm not guaranteeing you like every single time that you do this, it's going to like magically be like a one entry, and then boom, you get away with it. Like this one right here, you would have gotten stopped out like 3 to 4 times. But here's the thing, all right? If I would have entered like this, set up like a 2% stop loss, all right, and then taken profit around the 0.382 area, all right, now we would have taken profit right here because of the bullish setup in the 0.382 area. So that would have been a 9.32. All right, I would have gotten stopped out twice. I would have gotten stopped out twice. All right. So even with getting stopped out, and that's the thing, like a lot of people think that getting stopped out equates to 1, I'm a bad trader, and 2, if I get stopped out, I'm not going to be profitable. All right. I get stopped out like 5, 10 times sometimes. All right. And I still make mad money if I hit the take profit. All right. Now, obviously, if I don't hit the take profit, I still get stopped out. That sucks. That happened to Aave, happened to a lot of my trades lately. But usually, if you're looking to take like scalp trades, obviously I was looking for more macro leg ups. But that being said, Like let's say I had $10,000 and I was risking 1% of my portfolio per trade. All right, so I get stopped out once. All right, let's see, boom. I get stopped out once, minus 1%. Oh my gosh, I hate calculators. All right, minus 1%. All right, lose $100. Get stopped out twice, minus 1%, lose $99. All right, then I hit a 9.32 risk reward ratio. So then I add 9.32% to my portfolio because I'm risking 1% and my risk reward ratio is 9.32%. Therefore, it's R&R, which is your risk reward ratio, times what you're willing to lose, which you can either do the actual dollar amount you're willing to lose, or you can do the percentage amount times your portfolio, right? You walk away with about $714 profit there. You walk away with about 7.1% net gain, right? Now, obviously, if you would hit it the first time and walked away, an additional 2%, but you can't count on that. But you can count on if you are below, the probability of your short trade is higher, right? That's why, I play it this way. Gotta tried many diets and whole low carb, pointless unhealthy eating. You feel I agree. Like, so here's the thing. Intermittent fasting, I know there's a lot of like hype around it. I feel like it's a big buzzword right now. But I've been looking at this ever since I was like 14. The science behind it is sound as hell. All right. We are not meant to eat 3 meals a day. We're not even meant to eat breakfast. All right, breakfast is marketing at its finest. Convince an entire generation that if you don't eat breakfast, you're going to die. All right, intermittent fasting is maybe not, the 24 window isn't exactly, conducive to like long term, but definitely the 16-8. It's just the natural way to eat. All right, now if you combine the natural way to eat plus healthy food, that's where you get the, not the trifecta, because obviously it's only 2 factors, but you know what I'm trying to say? It's like the best of both worlds. For me, like intermittent fasting is like a really good transition, all right? Because obviously it's a lot easier to adjust when you eat, which, instead of adjusting, how much you eat or what you eat in particular. Because, reducing the time that you get to eat is obviously going to reduce your calories. And then now that your body is not eating all the time, your stomach's going to shrink, which now means you're reducing your calories. So it's like this, it's just like this compounding factor. I've had the most success with intermittent fasting, and it makes you feel great too. Like your growth hormone goes up. Like you feel more like attuned to yourself, because you're more stuck in reality. Like I can see why like a lot of religious institutions, I don't know why I said it like that, religious institutions, I can see why a lot of religions promote fasting. So first off, it's healthy for you, so obviously like it's a good way to live longer, but more importantly than that, like I think fasting is like instead of being like a Zazen monk who is just sitting there all day, thinking about nothing, meditation is about being in the present moment so severely that you lose track of the monkey brain's ability to conceptualize that you're going to die one day, and it unlocks great details. So intermittent fasting is like an easy way to be constantly in the present, because you're going to have like this feeling of hunger almost all the time. Eventually it gets to the point where like you don't really notice it and it's not that bad. But in the beginning, for like the first like couple weeks, like you're going to be constantly hungry, and bringing yourself back to like your senses and reminding yourself that you're alive right now, it's constant meditation. We just don't think about it like that. So that's another reason why I really like intermittent fasting. It's like active, constant meditation. Because if you're hungry, you're not worried about the fact that you're going to die in 60 years. Give you a slight smile there. Yeah. I have not bought a BMW yet. I'm still a Mercedes guy. I've looked at them. And yeah, a lot of the BMWs definitely look more sporty. But for me, I just like the luxury side of Mercedes better. I feel like it's a little bit more classy. That's all. Well, I mean, the keto diet does the same thing as intermittent fasting. It's all about getting getting into ketosis. So, by eating less carbs, your insulin isn't spiked as much, therefore it's easier to get into ketosis. Same thing with intermittent fasting. If you're not eating anything at all and just drinking water, then you're probably going to get into ketosis. I haven't read the Bulletproof Coffee book. I've heard about it, definitely. But I don't know. It's just not. I don't feel like I don't know why you would do it. Like I feel like intermittent fasting, you're doing it for health reasons. You should probably not try to cope with coffee. Like just drink water. We still got to pump up quite a bit until, it starts to look a little bit better. Let's see. I'm going to take a long on sushi if we get back above this local low. You can see right here. We have lower low, higher low, and we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. So if we get back above that local low, I'll go ahead and enter long. Let me actually set up a conditional real quick. We got 61.4. All right, we got 15. I'll do, there we go. IF isn't something magic, and it's not a diet. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. It's not a diet. You should look at rapid fat loss 2.0. Insulin spike is cap, even protein. Well, yeah, everything spikes insulin, but carbs most definitely they spike the most. They have the most energy per gram. Good morning. We've kind of already been over BTC, but I'll recap it for you since you was waking up. Let's see. All right, macro wise, until we break this 29K region, all right, give it some leeway. Until we break that, technically we are still bullish on a macro perspective, but we really have to get back above 31K. If we don't do that, we're always destined to go back down. If we do happen to break 28, 29K, we are most likely going to go down and test 22. We might have a temporary bounce around 26K to go retest that resistance. All right. If we do happen to get stopped out of some of these longs and we go down, I'll probably be looking around that 25, 26K region for a bullish reversal setup on the smaller time frames. I'm going to take that long, take my profit around 28K, and I'm going to be watching that 28K, 29K region for a short. And then hopefully holding that short until we get down towards like the 23K to 22K region. Okay, so maybe energy wasn't the right word. I was just saying carbs spike insulin the most. So that's the whole thing. Like, that's why I was saying before, like keto, for example. Right? What does keto do? Keto, you cut out all your carbs. Like, you only eat protein. Like, you basically just eat meat. You know, you can have other things too, but mostly you're cutting out carbs. And since carbs are what's spiking your insulin the most, you're more likely to get in ketosis during your off times. But who the hell wants to eat just meat? So that's the thing. What's my target on sushi? To the downside or to the upside? All right, because to the upside, I'm looking for like a macro hold. I'm pretty bullish on sushi. All right. My thing is like Uniswap is one of the better swaps. And it had, I forgot what the market cap was. I think it was like 20 billion or 30 billion. So I'm looking at this as a potential competitor to Uniswap. If we do happen to go into the next bull cycle, and these are the two major ones, Sushi by far has a better URL, ease of use to get to, as well as that, you know, the actual website itself looks better. So I think it might either one, be a close runner up in terms of market cap, or it might flip Uniswap. If it does, like if it gets back up to what Uniswap was a little bit ago, like we could easily see double digits. Like I'm talking like $50 to $100 on sushi. I'm looking to enter on sushi around like, yeah, like 6.614, right? Yeah, 6.614. There is so many swaps. I know. It's a very saturated market. All right, before anybody calls me out on that. It's a very saturated market. All right, but in terms of like the two biggest ones, I'm pretty sure it's sushi and it's also Uniswap. And another reason why I'm quite bullish on sushi is because one, Bybit has listed it. All right, Bybit is one of the biggest leverage trading websites in the world. Obviously, you have Binance, but in terms of like pure leverage trading, you have the ability to short and long sushi on there. So that exposure alone, like that's the only reason why I found out about sushi. I would have never known about sushi if it was not for Bybit. So with that being said, I feel like that's another reason to be bullish on it. A lot of high-end people that are making money on the daily are exposed to that coin. This is just carbon-based life forms on here, carbon base. Try working out more than fasting. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's obviously the easy answer. But whatchamacallit? Oh, did we already get wicked out? God damn it. You want to reset it up? All right, but whatchamacallit? Yeah, you're underestimating the Doge. Oh my gosh. I'm not denying that Doge is not going to go up. But I don't think it's going to like flip BTC if that's what you're talking about. But like I was saying, yeah, working out more than fasting, that's obviously the easy answer. But you know, for me, I mean, it's also like this could be me hiding behind an excuse. I prefer calisthenics over weightlifting. Right. And so for me, not being someone that's working out, losing weight is the first step to me working out, because then it all grows together. I'm building muscle, gaining weight, which that weight will then be used to grow muscle and build weight. If that makes any sense. Kite, how do you calculate your reward based on your $140,000 target? Oh, you just take where you entered from, what's your stop loss, and then you just take the risk reward. Or like if I'm in a trade, like if I'm in this trade, boom, if I get to 140 grand, then I'll make 20K. If that's what you were asking, you said, how do you calculate your reward based on... I'm assuming that's what you were talking about. Well, otherwise, you would just take your entry or stop loss and where you want to take profit, take your risk reward. You use the chart layout button up in the top right. That's how you do it. That is true. Weight loss is 90% in the kitchen. But for me, it's 90% not being in the kitchen. Because if I'm in the kitchen, I'm not going to lose weight. So. You mean burn fat and gain weight? Yeah, so like what I was talking about is like I lose the fat through fasting. That way I can work out with calisthenics, which is using your body weight. That way I'm, you know, obviously like if I'm a fat ass and I try to go do a pull-up with all that extra weight and no muscle built underneath, I can't do a pull-up. But if I lose 60 pounds, I'm more likely to be able to do that pull-up. Then I'm building muscle from the pull-ups, the push-ups, all that kind of stuff. Building weight, you know, building muscle weight, and then it kind of just amplifies. And calisthenics, it's more of like building up the fibers rather than the mass. And I prefer that than being huge. I feel like calisthenics is a lot more like usable. Like I feel like weightlifting, like let's say I'm in the apocalypse. All right. Who would I want to be in the apocalypse? Do I want to be like the Incredible Hulk where I can just like lift heavy things? Or do I want to be a calisthenics pro where I can, you know, get up into a tree really fast or like climb fences really, like, you know, that's my whole thing. If that makes any sense. I'd rather be a calisthenics dude than a weightlifter. I mean, in our society, without like the apocalypse, yeah, like weightlifters just like beat up calisthenics dude. But I mean, calisthenics dudes can probably outrun weightlifters. How do you can't, no, you can't do that. I don't take trades directly from TradingView. Trading View is where you plan your trade, and then you go to whatever website you use. And then you just put it in there. Strength training or weight training? And I'm like, I'm not talking about like being an athlete in a particular way. Like, obviously, like if you're like a football player, you're going to be using weights because you need to amplify how strong you're getting. But I'm just talking about physical health. Like, that's my thing. Just like training to be healthy. That's all. I am looking to go get what's it called? LASIK. So that's another thing. Like I use contacts. So if the apocalypse was to hit, I'd rather get LASIK before that happens. So I know it sounds like I'm convinced that the apocalypse is coming. I swear to God, I'm not. It's just I don't know. It's like it's the best analogy. If the apocalypse hits, would you rather this or rather that? Would you rather have LASIK, or would you rather have contacts and try to find contacts in the pharmacies? Why get LASIK later in life instead of now? The LASIK plan that I plan on getting, like every 5 years you can go in and they'll check to see if they need to do a touch up, and it costs like a couple $100. Like the initial cost is obviously like a couple grand, but I mean it's pretty good setup. And no, LASIK, #1 lawsuit of all suits. So they had like the old way of doing LASIK, where like they would actually physically cut a layer of your eyeball and then do the thing. Now you literally just walk in and you just boom, they hit you with a laser. I've been long on BTC ever since 29.2K. Now, like that's what I was saying before. Like, I was just theorizing. I was like, if this is our one, we should be looking for a bullish reversal around the 0.382, which was around here. Didn't work out. That's how trades usually work out. You try to find the best option, and then when that option doesn't work out, you cut your losses, and you wait for the next option. But I haven't touched BTC since all the way back here. Obviously, I've been keeping track of BTC because that's pretty much what the entire market depends on. But besides that, no. My sister got LASIK 3 years ago. She says it's the best decision she's ever made. And she could be just one of the lucky ones. I think it comes mostly from like the original way of doing LASIK. I believe like 2 to 3 years ago, they completely changed the way LASIK is done. Like I said, before that, every single one was literally they cut your eyeball. Now you literally walk in, they hit you with a laser a couple times, and you walk out, and your eye is completely healed within like a couple hours. Whereas before, you had to have like an eye patch on for like 2 days before you could actually take it off. Yeah, it's pretty much crypto only. Stop! Don't do that. Don't do that. About 1 to 5 minute. I mean, it's, like I said, it's not so much about the time frame. It's just the fact that I can see the trends that need to be seen. If I was on the hourly, I can't see these trends. Maybe I can. Yeah, I can still see it, but I can't see it in that good of detail. But you can see, like, I can go to the hourly chart. I can say, okay, this is a downtrend, cuts into an uptrend, cuts into a downtrend, creates a local low. Let's go ahead and cut down to like the 30 minute. We're seeing kind of like a flat line here. Let's cut down to the 5 minute. All right, we're seeing some bullish divergence. And then I go ahead and take the entry. I don't feel like trying to do LASIK myself. I'd rather have a doctor do it, Frank. I'm sorry. Get out from under there. What are you doing? Stop. Lay down. Because the 14 RSI makes you feel like the sky is falling every 2 seconds. Right? It's too exaggerated. Right? The 125 RSI, it makes the RSI look like the price action, except for where it matters. That's the thing. Like right here, we got a higher high, but you can see crazy divergence. Let me cut down to the downside. The way you teach RSI, would there be a bullish divergence on the 15 above 1900? I believe it's like 1858. I don't know. You're talking about ETH, right? I'm assuming. I don't think exactly that there is. Okay, yes, there is. All right, cool. All right, if we get back above 1861 on Ethereum, technically that would be a point to go ahead and enter long. All right, you can see right here, lower lows, higher lows. This is on the 5 minute with the 125 RSI. Now, you're entering off of this lower support here, but in a longer span of things, all right, you have a couple different levels, all right? You're going to enter when you get above this, all right? If you can get above this local low, it starts to increase the odds of proceeding further. Once you're back above 2260 to 2189, that starts to solidify that we're actually going to see a breakout to the upside. All right. But with all this, with us already putting in a lower low here, more than likely anything of of significance to the upside. It's just going to be a retest. If you're going to be in the game, you need to be in the game with low risk. Like, this is the thing. Like, you'll see me taking these trades. I'll take these trades because they're there. I don't care what my opinion about the market is. This is a bullish setup. All right, regardless of if I get entered, get wicked out, get entered, get wicked out, as long as that setup is there, I will be taking it. But the only problem is I'm using 0.25% risk. If any of you guys are following me on this trade and you guys are entering with like 2% risk and you get stopped out the same number of times as me, you're losing like 20 times more of your portfolio than I am. All right. Use low risk if you're going to play this type of way. Period. That's the thing. Like, if you have a smaller portfolio, psychologically, nobody wants to use low risk. It's like I said, if you have a $100 portfolio and you use 0.25% risk, that's 25 cents. Meaning if I lose the trade, I lose 25 cents. All right, if I win, I might make like $5. But here's the thing. You're looking at the percentages, or you're just caring about the dollar. Look at the percentages. If you can take $100 and turn it into $300, it's the same exact thing as taking 10K and turning it into 30K. It's the same exact thing. All right, if you would have had the same exact trade setups, the same exact percentages involved, just different portfolio amounts, it would have been the same exact thing. So use a $100 account as practice if you're having trouble. That's all. What quote? 2,700. Stop, fish. Don't do that. Yeah, let's take like, let me just show you real quick. Like, let's take like 10K, and let's say that you're using 5% risk, right? Because obviously, if you're using 5% risk and you hit like a 20 risk reward ratio, you're gonna add 100% to your account. But don't get too excited. All right. In order for me to successfully hit like a 20 risk reward ratio, usually I have to get stopped out anywhere between 5 to 10 times. Sometimes I get lucky. And it's like a one and done. But that's very few and far between. All right. Now, let's say that we get stopped out 5 times and I'm using 5% risk. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I went from 10,000 to 7,737. It's a lot. And let's say that for whatever reason, the trade still doesn't work out. And now it continues pressing on to the downside or to the upside, whichever is the opposite of what you were trying to trade in the first place. All right, now you're just out. You're out 23% of your portfolio, just like that. All right. Whereas with like 0.25%, all right, minus 0.25%, that might, okay, yeah. So it's like $25 each time. All right, with $10,000, you're literally losing like, what, $125? A little bit less than that, actually. So you're losing $125 versus multiple thousands. All right. That's the thing. Now, Can you be lucky and it still pays off? Of course. Of freaking course you can. But my thing is, you're always looking for longevity. So. I went along Bitcoin right now. Not unless it got back above 31. What are we sitting at right now? Well, we're almost sitting above 31. Let's see. I'm going to go down to a smaller time frame here. We need to get back above 31.231. Now, obviously, depending on your exchange, it can be slightly different. You're just looking for us to get back above the local low of the immediate downtrend. All right, so we have this downtrend right here. All right, you're looking to get above that local low. Now, I'm not saying that if we get above it, that's just confirmed reversal. We're going to blast off to the upside. I'm just saying that increases our chances of getting confirmed to the upside. That's all. I don't know if you're looking like the. Are you looking at like the 30-second time frame, like the 5-second time frame, Chris? Like I see what you're talking about. You're talking about like the continuation bearish divergence right here, right? I'm just talking about reversal divergences off a current trend. That's all. I have no doubt there's going to be a pullback, but. But any other books you would recommend reading? If you wanted to get into Elliott Wave, a visual guide to Elliott Wave theory is a good place to start. It's kind of like a children's book for Elliott Wave, but it's not the end-all be-all. Harmonic Elliott Wave by Ian Copsley is the best book on Elliott Wave that I possibly know of. I've read 7. I've read 7 books on Elliott Wave. That one takes the cake. It's very boring. Don't get me wrong. It's terribly boring. But it is some of the best information out there. In terms of, it really changed my perspective. It was like literally putting a pair of glasses on and looking at the market from a certain viewpoint. That changed everything. Should have entered at 28.8. What you mean? I entered a month ago. If I would have got it, I would have got it. Unfortunately, I did not. I mean, you can even see on this 1-minute time frame that same exact setup. We got downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, creates a higher low, lower low, and then we see it bounce to the upside. Now, technically, this would be where I'd be taking profit. If I was scalp trading this, I would have taken profit like right about here at about 30.4. Obviously, I'll be looking to play the bigger time frame here. If we're going up, I'm going to get a t-shirt with "Told You So." No. That's the one thing, like my opinion usually coincides with the probability. All right. Very rarely do I like really think that something else is going to happen besides the probability. I mean, it's just playing the risk reward. Until 29K breaks, that is our strongest support in all of Bitcoin, pretty much, besides 43K, or we start going back down to some of the lower ones. So I mean, That's the thing. Like, it's the trader who's making these decisions. It's not the opinions. I know you're smart and all, but your health is kind of shit, buddy. Dude, that was hilarious. Oh, I do have to come clean, guys. There is something I have to share with you. This is not what I wanted to show you. I own a pickle. I own a pickle now, thanks to Hale from our Discord. He sent me this pickle. And I'm very excited. Like I can't explain to you how excited I am to find out what my pickle is. Like, I know it's stupid as hell, but come on. Like the anticipation. All right, so like on the 26th, I looked into the future. I'm clairvoyant. I don't know if you guys know that. And I just so happen to have one of the only 3 Supreme pickles in the world. All right, there's a couple Louis Vuittons, but I have a Supreme pickle. So I don't know how much it's going to be worth, but I got a pretty rare pickle. Just going to say that right now. That was a joke for anybody that didn't catch that. I don't know what the pickle's going to be. I got an NFT pickle. I was talking in the Discord group this morning, like, what am I going to tell my grandkids? Like how can I like let's say my grandkids are like having, like my kids and my grandkids are having a bad time in life. Like I can't just say to them like get your shit together, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, when my bootstraps were made from NFT horses, NFT pickles, pussy, ball bag, kelpie, and just sitting in my room and ordering DoorDash and trading on internet markets. Like, how am I gonna like be critical of my kids? Because like that's the right of every parent. Like, I'm supposed to be like an asshole, right? I'm supposed to I'm supposed to like be hard on them if they're not finding their way in life. That's what parents do, right? I should love my kids unconditionally and just let them find their own way. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. Not sure how you can say it's because I don't use EMAs. All right. For me, I use local highs and local lows. All right. So in this case scenario, all right, these are our local highs and local lows for Ethereum. All right. Ethereum has been steadily finding support around its first original local low. Now, obviously, we're below it right now. Actually, we're actually getting back above it pretty soon. But I play from a totally different perspective. I'm not using EMAs. I'm not using SMAs. I'm just playing price action and obviously divergences from the RSI. But I mean, if you want to throw EMAs in there, right? Why is nobody talking about the 2-day? Right? Why are we not talking about the 2-day? Why are we talking about the 1-day? All right, let's throw on Silicone EMAs. Those are my favorite to use just because, I don't know, they are easy to set up. All right, so why is nobody talking about the 2-day on BTC? All right, so you want to talk about that? We have been above this 200-day, well, I guess I can say 400-day SMA, EMA for a very long period of time. Now, obviously, this does not coincide with, I guess the probabilities to the downside. My thing is until 29K breaks, there's no reason for me to short. Unless I'm at a resistance, that's it. But just from a trader's perspective, I long supports and I short resistances. It's as simple as that. Oh, it's raining super hard outside right now. Jesus. How do you know if 31... What do you mean? Are we... Like, that's a question that I've gotten quite a lot lately, which I don't quite understand. It's a simple true or false statement. Are we or are we not? All right, so you said, how do you know if 31K is confirmed or not? Are we above it or are we not? That's how I play price action. I don't have to wait for a candle body close. I don't have to wait for anything like that. All right, in this case scenario, if we have a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and we get back above that local low, that's when you would enter pretty much instantly. Am I in Florida? No. Yeah, it's literally just based on price. That's it. Like it's an if this and that true or false statement. Are we above? Are we below? Is the structure there? Do you have a divergence? Simple. Now, you don't always need a divergence, but it definitely does help. One, with confidence. Two, you know, should have a better effect, theoretically. Oh my gosh. What's my view on market cipher? Let me get here's the thing, like people don't understand, like when I talk about market cipher, I have to like put on like a press statement because it market cipher is so popular. People have put their trust, their faith, their life savings into a product. So like if I say one bad thing about it, a lot of people get mad. But here's the thing. Market cipher is a decent indicator. The only problem is it's peddled to leverage traders. It's not a good indicator for leverage trading, period. Because all you're doing is being the apple of indicators. You're taking an overly exaggerated RSI where you can't find any divergences off of it, all right, besides flatline or skyline. Stochastic on it doesn't even make any sense. The money flow is halfway decent, but you can get that from other indicators. The blue waves, you should just be using the RSI. The VWAP is very lagging. Here's the thing, like if you're trading properly, market cipher is not there to help the leverage traders. Now, could you successfully use like the 4-hour VWAP and spot trade quite well? Yeah, I have no doubt. But leverage trading, no. That's all. I do feel like it sucks. But here's the thing, like when we were at the peak, like I was up 2,000% on sushi. We were up like $3,000. I was only risking $35. All right, now I can risk about $125 using even less percentage of the challenge account portfolio And if we get back up to that same region, I want to be up like 10K. So, I mean, part of me like really likes that I got a second try at sushi. Now, obviously that could still fall through, but hey. And like here's the thing, like I have no way, shape, or form. Like I don't feel bad. Like what am I trying to say here? I don't have any ill feelings for the Market Cipher team. Crypto Face has been very kind to me. He gives out Market Cipher all the time. They're good people. But at the same time, I feel like they're ignoring the fact of who they're marketing to. And they're choosing money over potentially saving people's well-beings. Like here, like I can sit here and I'm teaching, but it's very boring because I'm actually teaching. Like I'm not selling you a pipe dream. I go, here's how I do it. I use incredibly low risk. I might be able to make, a couple $1,000s in a couple minutes with my portfolio and not my risk. But if you apply those same mathematical concepts to your portfolio, you might only be up like $5. Right? And then when I say that to people, they're like, well, I can't pay my bills with $5, Austin. So then they go use like 50% risk and wreck their account. There's nothing I can do. Like if you don't use proper risk management with high risk to reward and have probability on your side, even if you're not winning more than 50%, having probability on your side for the trade in the first place, if you don't do that over a long period of time, you're not going to be successful with leverage trading. Period. Like there's nothing I can tell you. There's no fast road to this. Now, here's the thing. Once you've done very well with leverage trading and you have a lot of time under your belt, like let's say you've taken $1,000 and over the past year, you've been able to turn it into 20K. All right, now go ahead and if you want to take, $100 from that 20K account and try to do, a challenge account where you try to make fast exponential growth money and then cash out. Is no harm, no foul, because you're playing with house money at that point, right? But if you're just walking into this and you've taken like $5,000 of your savings to put into trading, and then you try to apply what I did to the $100 portfolio to a 5K account and then get wrecked, I don't see it. There's a reason why I used $100 on that account, even though I had the availability to do much more. $100. I did that as like a representation of what most people can start with and hopefully not bat an eye at. Like if you lose $100, it's like, you took a chick out to dinner and then you never saw her again. You're upset, but you're not mad. You're not crying. I don't know. But maybe I shouldn't use that analogy, but you know what I mean? I used $100 on that account where if I lost it, it means absolutely nothing, but you have everything to gain. If you take $5,000, which you can't really lose, if you're being honest, and then apply that same concept and then lose it all, that's a recipe for disaster emotionally. Because then you're going to try to keep throwing money at trading and trade the same way and try to make up for your losses. Trying to make up for your losses quickly is one of the biggest death traps. Because like, let's say you're not properly trading and you lose 40% of your account. Now you have to be incredibly risky with the remaining 60% of your account to make up for that 40% loss, or make the decision to say, hey, maybe I should actually use good risk management on the remainder of my portfolio. And as long as I continue on the right trajectory, I'm going to get back to where I was in the future. Maybe not anytime soon, but in the future I will. And then I'll proceed past that point and I'll continue to grow my account. How many people do you think go with the second option not a whole lot of people. That's what I hate. Like, I hate it. Yeah, like, I started this as a gambler, and then after gambling for so long with no success, you finally give up. And then you start to see the light. And it sucks because a lot of the times I'm preaching to people that want to be traders, but at the same time, they're gamblers. I try my best. Ugh. Am I still in? I'm assuming Pussy Coin. No, I'm not. And what is your strategy for finding shitcoins? Find yourself a whale wallet. Like, I can share one with you right here. So like, this is the wallet that I've been using to find out like shitcoins to get into. Let's see, bookmarks. Swap. Check out your favorite shitcoins and find a wallet that is, putting a decent amount of money into these coins. Like, you have to find them before. Like, you have to find the people that are able to catch these trends before this shit goes down. All right? Before. Like Ball Bag, I think we got in when there was like 300, 500 holders. Jeju, there was only like 1,000. Now there's 5,000. Kelpie, there was like 700. Now there's 2,700. This is Richard Hart's Dext. And this wallet somehow has got its hands on Pulse Chain before Pulse Chain's even out. So, I mean, whoever this guy is, I'm assuming pretty significant. But I've been following this wallet, buying into whatever coin this guy buys into. But that's how I've been finding out about shitcoins. Otherwise, you kind of just throw darts at a dartboard, I guess. Yeah, sure. Let me go ahead and do that for you. I'm assuming this is his wallet address. I'm assuming. Yeah. Are you gonna do a live pickle reveal? Hopefully. I don't know if I'll actually be on live though, but I will show you guys what I get. I feel like this is one of those things where like I might actually just be better off selling the pickle before it's revealed. Cause like watch all of them like lose their value just cause like they're like I don't know. And maybe it's just like the anticipation, the hype, the not knowing, the unknown that's driving this price action to these pickles to be be worth like $100 a piece. Like a little bit before I started this live stream, I actually I started the first episode of season 5. It's on YouTube for free. Adult Swim uploaded it. Other than that, I'll just have to like use a pirating app. We're gonna be heading off here pretty soon. We've been streaming for about 3 hours. I'll recap before we head off. But I was really hoping that we would actually just break through support on Livestream, to be honest with you. But, I mean, we got some bullish setups. We're sitting at support. So, I mean, I'll take them. So I feel like another part of this is like, it's just as effective to have price action move sideways for a month than it is to dump price action in the first place. Because I feel like people have been constantly getting wrecked, not only leverage trading, but also just like the mentality has slowly been weakening. So I feel like the whales can still keep Bitcoin in good standing, but constantly get people to sell out. And definitely like altcoins have just suffered throughout this entire process. Like we've been moving sideways on BTC within like a nice range, but then you look at any other altcoin and like, you know, sushi, for example, from the peak over here, from the first bounce is down 50%. No, you're not looking for a pullback. They said we had a downtrend, uptrend. So yeah, like if you're looking at it like that, yeah, I guess. But like if you're looking at BTC, we already have it. Like if you want another setup, like we can get another setup like this. We can have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and if we put in a higher low and still come back, yeah, that would be another setup. But at the moment, we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and now that we are back above this local low, you would enter, set your stop loss nicely below 1 to 2%, and then go ahead and let it go up. And you can get wicked out, but then if you come back above this line, you re-enter. That's how it works. And I mean, if you're just playing this and back up to the resistance, and even if you just take profit here, that's a 13 restored ratio. It's always about the 3 trends. We got uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, creates a local high. You short as long as you're below that. Boom. Right here. This one was a little bit harder to get into, but we did have the divergence off of these 3 trends. Boom, would have shorted there. Right here. Boom, boom, boom. Short there. You want to see something really crazy? I shorted the top of ETH, and I didn't hold it. All right. Right here, all right, we had an uptrend, a downtrend, and we put in like the slightest, like I'm talking like $1 to $3 higher high, and we had the RSI falling off a cliff. I shorted from right here. So if there's one position that I'm actually like kind of upset to that I didn't hold on to it, it was that one. I literally took profit. I didn't even like, I took profit like right here. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely feel bad about that, but hey. I was actually on the phone with Ryan when I entered that trade. I forgot what we were doing. I think we were like setting up his sound or something. I don't know what we were doing that day, but it was like 2 a.m. at night, and we were just talking, and I entered the trade, and lo and behold, that was the top of the market. I don't have a course, no. I do have private tutorial videos, but that's as close as a course as I got. I mostly just do live, like setups and stuff like that, answering questions, showing you how it's done. I feel like there's more value in that. It's like that's one thing I never got about like a course. Like a course implies that one size fits all, when that's not how trading works. Like trading is such an emotionally and psychology heavy game that one person using a specific type of strategy might be extremely successful because they have what it takes to use that type of strategy. Whereas the next guy, he might be doing well with another type of strategy that the first guy is not doing well with because they're different people. Like me, I have a very, very robotic strategy that requires you to be dead inside. And I think that's just because I've been playing this market so goddamn long. I am dead inside. Trading to me is like just breathing at this point. I don't care about it. I just trade the chart, go with the flow, makes me money. I buy DoorDash. That's how it works. All right. But if you are a very emotional person, you can't use my method because there will be times where you get stopped out 10 times in a row. Do you have the robot telling you to go for the 11th? No, most people don't. So that's why I don't have a trading course, because my mentality is not for everybody. Oh, in the shitcoin chat on Discord, I'm never going to be like, hey, get into this shitcoin, because that's the last thing I want. I don't want to be like what's his name, Trayvon James, where he was promoting shitcoins, getting them to pump, and then just cashing out. That's not what I want. So like, I'll just mention, hey, the wallet got in the ball bag. I'll buy a little bit, and then so on and so on. I shared the wallet in the shitcoin chat as well. But I never like at everyone. So I just don't want it to be like that. If you see it, you see it. So that's the thing, like with like Market Cipher or the MACD, when you go back to back test it, it's a lot of like, if I would have done this, right? Like the MACD crossed to the downside here. If I would have gotten in right here, like that's the problem with a lot of these indicators. It's a lot of like ifs, ands, or buts. With this style of trading where you're just looking for trend shifts, divergences, you can go back in price action and you could literally go, okay, I would have gotten stopped out 5 times right here, but the trade still would have been successful. Here was my cash out point. Boom, add that to the profits. You can go back and back test all of this. All right, with the MACD, the market cipher, it's all repainting. All right, the RSI is painted in real time, like candle by candle, and it does not change that much. Like the MACD, like it can cross, uncross, cross, uncross. You don't have that problem with the RSI. The VWAP can cross, uncross. You don't have that problem with the RSI. I oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be. I'm sorry. Hey, Kite. Elliott wave 1 started at 2,800. Hit wave 3 at 1,700. 4. I I don't prescribe to that. I never look for 5 waves down. To me, it just doesn't suit. Like, are you saying like you said wave 1 started at wave 1 can't start at 2,800 and then wave 5 end at 1,500, even if you are looking at, are you talking about like right here? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not how you should see this. All right, it can definitely work out like that, but you don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures to the downside. All right. This right here is an A. This right here is a B, and we're in the C. All right. So now, like, we could have an A, a B, and a C, but all that is a part of the larger structure here. So like that would all become one long C like that. I mean, large wise, I mean, you could be looking at this. That's the only thing. We did not put in a higher high here. I'm not quite sure, but that would be kind of what we're looking at right there. A, B, C. We are out of the danger zone like ever so slightly. Like I cannot say with any confidence that we are out of the danger zone, quote unquote. What I will say is we are above a bullish reversal structure on a very small time frame, but could lead to a domino effect that would put us to the upside. So I can say I've taken my entry on sushi based off of that, but I'm not going to be upset if it doesn't work out because I understand what we're fighting against here. Hey, thank you. I'm not. I'm glad I'm not dead as well. Kite, is it good to retest the 29K support? I don't prescribe to any of that. All right, saying, "Oh, we've tested this support 4 times," or "We've tested this resistance 6 times." Like you can say, you can make it up in your head. All right. To me, I don't care. It's true or false. We are above or we are below. How many times we've come down to that point and bounced, I don't care. All right, because you could have the bulls going, well, look how many times we've bounced from that region. We're going up to the moon. And then you can have the bears that are like, well, if we were so bullish, we wouldn't have come back down to that region so many times in the first place. So you're going to have both sides fighting over the same exact answer or like the same exact question. So I don't care, to be honest. Like that's like the two things: time and the amount of times retested. To me, that has no significance in trading whatsoever. Us saying between 29K and 42K for 6 months does not change a single thing for me. It's a matter of local highs and local lows. We stay above 29K, we'll bounce. If we don't stay above 29K, we're going to go down and test 25, 26 to 22 to even 16. And those are possible regions to bounce in. That's all. I don't try to pretend to know which one is going to hold. I just know that those are possible regions that should hold. That's all. That's the only reason why I'm bullish, is because 29K is a significant support and is the best local low in our current vicinity. And if we were to break below it, there's not much. there's not much anything of anything significant to hold us up from there. I used to use the visible range a lot, but the thing is like, I know what I'm looking for, and I've come a long way. So like whenever I'm looking for something, typically the higher end money is also looking for that. So, at a certain point, I was just lining up perfectly with everything that I was looking to buy and sell. So, like right here, for example, if we throw on the visible range, you're probably going to see a spike here. You're going to see a spike here, and you're going to see a spike here. And then probably the biggest spike of all being at like 900. Actually, no, I'm going to say the biggest spike of all being at 1300. One of these two regions. And then we just go ahead and we throw on the visible range. Volume profile. Visible range. And then let's add some resolution to it. Right here. Oh. Let's do 1,000. Is that too much? 250? There we go. All right, you're seeing a spike here. You're seeing a spike here. And I'm surprised there's no spike at 1540. But, I mean, that could tell you, hey, we're just going to slip right through that. And then, pretty much before we get there, I don't see why 600 is of any particular interest. Right? Actually, I think 600, I think that's the neckline. Oh, no, 365 is. I don't know. But, all right, guys. Here's the thing. All right, let me go ahead and recap one more time, just for anybody that's confused. All right. I am technically still bullish. I was expected to be proven wrong this live stream. But as long as we are holding above the 28, 29K region, I technically still have to remain bullish. All right. Now, we'll see. If we do have a decent pump up, now that I'm not sick anymore, I definitely will be on the lookout for some bearish positions to get into. But that being said, short term, on the smaller time frames, we're in a confirmed reversal setup. All right. But that's contingent on us staying above 31K. Short term, we need to get back, like now that we're back above 31K, we need to get back above 33K, 33.278, in order to continue to remain bullish. If we can do that, that would add a lot more confidence, in my opinion, to the market. Otherwise, this could just be a retest. All right. My opinion is set some money aside for DCAing. Look for the local lows, contingent on the uptrend that we are reversing against, no matter what coin you're looking at, and DCAing properly. Don't go all in at one local low. It's never a good idea. All right. Abysmal range. What are you talking about? I don't think I said abysmal. Pepto-Bismol. No, Doge has not lost. I hate to say this. Like, I actually do. Like, I hate to say this. But unfortunately, Doge has not lost a crucial support yet. All right. Doge, its support is at 15.5 cents. If we lost 15 cents, like if we broke 15 cents, then we would go down to 5 cents. We're very close to doing so. All right, so you're not wrong. But it's called visible range. Yep. Visible range. My piece of advice for you guys is just long supports, short, like this is like, okay, so like if I had to like put trading like in like the fewest sentence possible, like if I wanted to like if I had to do a drive by, like if I had to drive by somebody and be able to spit out enough words to have them be successful in trading, this would be it. All right. Long supports, short resistances. Use good risk management. That's it. All right. That's all I ever want to see from you guys. All right. So regardless of me being, starting this live stream, pretty damn bearish, right? We had the bullish setups. We took the entries. Now, I don't want to speak too soon, but we're up $1,000 on sushi. So, hey, just make sure that you're doing your due diligence. You're taking the trades where the trades want to be taken, and then proceed. That's all. Otherwise, you're going to keep throwing yourself for a loop. That doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help you. Doesn't help the people that you're trying to help with the money that you're trying to make. Hopefully that's your goal. Yeah, no, that's all. I don't know how to make it any easier. Long support, short resistances. That's all. That's all. That's all I could say. But, God, it's been one hell of a morning. I woke up, hopped on a live stream. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go order some food. I'm going to eat. I'm probably going to take a nap. And then I'm going to film the first episode of my other series I'll have going on. I appreciate you guys very much. I hope the market stays bullish. But hey, that's the human side of me. And you guys will always hear me talk about, you'll talk about me, talk about Austin thinks this, and then the trader trades this. So, I personally, and that's the thing, it's good to maintain a third person perspective and keep track of how you feel, because how you feel is probably how some other people feel. So, I started this out very strong. This region, I was very bullish in. And I've seen slowly, I've definitely held on a lot longer than a lot of people, but I've sensed myself getting more and more and more bearish as time has gone on. But that's the thing. Time and time again, no matter how bearish the human is, the trader just has to trade the local lows and local highs. That's all I can do. It just does its thing robotically. So, retrading in the zone, start trying to separate yourself from trading and think more robotically. That's all I can really, that's my best advice is become robot, abandon monkey. All right, monkey's good. Monkey's fine. But monkey can't make a dime. All right, robot, he makes so many dimes, they chime. That was my rhyme for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I appreciate you very much, guys. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to some people. Allie, thank you. I appreciate that. Matt Lee Kite. Oh my gosh, you have my name. Are we family? My last name's Kite. So if your last name's Kite, we could be related. It's crazy. Victor, have a good day. I will be live in Discord today. Hopefully. I do plan on it. Well, probably towards the middle of the day. So probably in about 4 hours or so. The new series will be here, just obviously under a different name. Because I don't think I'm big enough to start a second channel and reliably have people go over it. Maybe in the future, if it really takes off and becomes its own separate thing, I'll have to move it to a separate channel. But yeah. Well, I think being a robot in some sort of way is being Zen. Because Zen is the understanding that you can't grasp it and you can't let go of it. It always will be, and it's constantly changing. So why try to stop it? Robots, they just are. So being a robot is being Zen. Have a nice DoorDash. I don't know what I'm going to get today. Probably like Mexican food. I want Cadobas. All right, guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you in the next one. I still got like a nasally voice from being sick, but I'm definitely better. We'll see how things go. Peace out. I love you very much. Let's go ahead. I do want to share this song with you guys, so I'm going to play this song. And I want to preference it with saying, this is not me. All right? Because I played this in the car with my sister, and she thought I wrote this song because it's just like depressed version me singing. You'll understand why she thought it was me in just a couple seconds. But this is Hobo Johnson. All right? I Want You Back by Hobo Johnson. All right? Just pay attention to like the first 10 seconds of the song. I love you guys very much. I'll see you guys later. Make good trades. Don't do high risk. I'm watching you. Don't do it. All right? And we will be back later. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye.
Stop, fish. Stop, fish. I want you back! That's the worst thing I could say. Coldly lying on the couch like, oh, this couch could be my grave. I want to slap! That would make me quite upset, but if my brain came out my ear, then I guess that's what I get. I need a nap! And to see where all my edges are, I need to be alone before I could even hope to start. Spit on me again, that's impressive, about 8 feet apart. But if we laugh again, that will tear my mental health apart. Fuck! How come everything is pain? Every time I was happy, it surely went away. But babe, they gotta work all day for very little pay. I think that's fucked! And sadly, so am I. If I ever have kids, I hope they can't see out their eyes. When I imagine my kids, they kind of look like you. And I am sorry, and that's true. I think I'm fucked. I really think I'm fucked. I made $1 million. But then I had to spend it all on therapy. I learned the deadly lesson that money doesn't help my depression. And you're stuck with your brain no matter how much you make. And you will surely find new problems. Naive is the thought to think money is ought to be the thing that always solves them. I am fucked. I think I'm fucked. I think I'm fucked. I think I'm fucked. Yeah, I laid $1 million, but then I had to spend it all on therapy. I learned the deadly lesson. Doesn't help my depression. As we become obsessed with straight staring at phones, my brain has now become unable to cope. The techniques and the methods that they use on my brain are extremely effective and far too great. And now I'm just laying here dead on my couch. Facebook and Google have their tubes in my mouth, and as they generously feed me my ads for the day, for the week, for the month, I think we're fucked! I think we're fucked! I think we're fucked! I think we're fucked! Now I'm laying here, dead on the couch. Facebook and Google have their tube in my mouth, and if they generously feed me my ads for the day, for the week, for the month, I think we're fucked! Stop, fish. I want you back!
Yeah, I
Hate it when you're here, but you're not here. Hate it when you're friends from the old peers. Hate it when you talk, but you don't hear. Hate it when your energy feels weird. Last time I think I laughed, it was last year. Made more money last month than the past year. When everything feels fake, only facts here. I remember working back as a cashier. Simple at times, I would spend 3 weeks till the page is empty. They hang on every word I fucking say. Well, I appreciate you, wait for my perspective. Gotta keep it real, there's something else in play. Something I can't explain, yeah. Like the lyrics I find in my mind will put in my brain, damn. Is it really that deep? Maybe it's me. Then one day I came across what the Romans believed, and even the Greek. You see, they believe we create from our genius, not in our genes. That got me to think about rappers who claim that they're more than just human. Promote what they pour in their drink, what's making me think I needed a substance to create with something that wasn't in me. But pardon me, please, fuck all that nonsense. I believe that my music is bigger than me, if I'm being honest. And I think that it's slave for an artist to claim they're a god or a goddess. Because that type of thinking is silently killing off all of our artists. All the industry profit filling their wallets. Damn. Feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. While I focus on making the music, you don't need your hands to feel. Is it fair when we follow our passion, we barely can land a meal? In an industry where they can take, they don't need hands to steal. They told me go get a degree. We're stupid for following dreams. Your job is to push me to think and say you just heard in the sheep. I feel like my soul in the eat. I told them I need to pursue what I love. If not, then I'm making this money for what? Buy shit from a brain like by someone that does. I needed to find out who I really was now. They would never get it. Said I couldn't do it, so they were sure when I did it. They never could see the vision. They never wanted me winning. I never needed opinion. I never was one to finish. Too fast to follow along, then I bring it back in a minute. I take the beat for a trip and I bring it back when I'm finished. I see my room as a womb and I better grow while I'm in it. I'm living, but am I living? I can't even tell the difference. Since the last 4 lines, it's been about 1 week. Anxiety hit me real hard, and I think I've been sacrificing my own mental to prove the potential in me with the music they see. Cause the more that I'm making, the more that they need. The more that I'm open, the more that I bleed. The more that they're lying, the less I believe. The more that I please them, the less that I'm me. I've been back and forth daily. Am I even making art? Did the art make me? No wonder why I'm feeling lost lately. Do they hate the art? Do they really hate me? They're so negative on the daily. But I don't need your help. To me, I'm twice as mean. Yeah, I'm twice as mean. It's seeming like your dream is really only taking shots at my self-esteem, motherfucker. You question why you should care. Like this don't affect what I do. But maybe, just maybe, if you change your thinking, then you will find you start believing in you. You see, as a human, you're made to create, not just sit at a desk with some paper and glue. And maybe, just maybe, we do have a genius. So all of the blame and the praise is for two. Damn. So who am I when the world tells me who I should be? Look around, you'll see ideas are essential as air and sleep. Everything you see, it came from the mind of a human being. That's mind-blowing. You're not your mistakes and the fears you think. And I think I need to pray and take care of myself more. Deep hidden in my mind's where you'll find peace of mind. 4.